Okay.
Okay.
I hate that.
Yep, it's just Windows things, and we're live. Hello, everyone. Turn's just doing his
Hello.
fancy intro right now. So here with Ryder Rohan, we've got Hadriz, we've got Happy Puppy in the house. Aerocrastic will be joining shortly as well. So
why don't you have a fancy intro, Dav?
Where's
your fancy intro?
I actually have one in production. You'll see it tomorrow.
Nice. Getting fancy for the Ever Chosen. That's good.
Yeah, I gotta step up my production game just a little bit, and I'm thinking I'll do. Just depends. I haven't had as much time to do as much as I would like because it all kind of happened pretty fast. I'll admit. But yeah. Oh, not
you
that.
just got a DM. Hey, by the way, you wanna do an Ever Chosen tournament? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Lol.
Yeah, I won't say too much about the whole process right now, but yeah, let's just say it happened pretty fast for me, which, don't get me wrong,
I understand that. Yeah.
Very, very honored to be involved, like, super, super happy that I get the opportunity to host, and, like, it's awesome that CA and, like, elements within CA are pushing for this, that are making it happen, like, very grateful for them, obviously, and, yeah, hopefully, when all this nonsense blows over, then I can get some in-person live events. That would be super cool.
Wait, for real?
I maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly what their plans are.
Over, yeah.
This is just kind of I don't know. I'm sure this is a little bit of a test and to see like how it is bringing some other casters in, like opening up to have it be open in a sense and have the qualifiers and everything. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Wait, are there people that aren't in the qualifiers that are like automatically?
Yeah. So the previous four, like the top four from the semifinalists from the last Ever Chosen are all in, including obviously Arrow the champ, and I forget who all was in.
Sooth. I know that for sure because he knocked me out. Now I have to fight in.
I don't know if they're all confirmed yet. Like, I think Hyali and Ollie maybe is not confirmed yet. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be talking about this, but...
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's all announced, right? The turn announced there were 4 qualifiers.
Yeah, all the tournaments are announced, and it's assumed that since there are 4 qualifiers, the other 4 players of the 8-man tournament are going to be the, 4 that got to the semis and finals.
Yeah.
It stands to reason.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be good, though. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. Lotus Moon, was he in the top 4?
Yes.
Yes.
Lotus Moon was second place.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, Lotus Moon placed second in the last Ever Chosen.
I'm interested to see in terms of qualifiers. I know Felcon obviously wants Skaden on qualifiers. There's some other players too, like yourself, Hadriz.
Felcon is so determined to get into that, yeah.
I mean, there's almost 100 people registered for mine right now, so...
Yeah, that's pretty...
Maybe get like a few extra, maybe get an extra admin.
Yeah, Arrow's, he said he's going to be around to help with admin stuff,
good.
And yeah, because I'm going to get a couple volunteers too to help me like check all the names, make sure we don't have any smurfs, like have some rules about, like make sure you have your name Discord, your name on Discord,
playing,
Steam, challenge, I'll have
but...
a match. Yeah, I understand. No worries.
Yes, same. I mean, I actually could, because with my surgery, I probably won't be able to do anything tomorrow in your thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you are willing to help, and I'm more than happy to take the help. Yeah, I saw about your surgery. Things going well?
Yeah, I'm just, like, really, really high because of it, like, all the time. It's not like something
the first game
like
starting.
Oh.
I predict Imric.
Imric, really? What mount? On Star Dragon?
Yeah.
Really?
Ooh,
that's a wild pick. I mean, that's bold.
Bold and beautiful.
Well, I predicted for kind of a reason.
You were in chat with them, so I think I need some
Oh
coffee.
no, because I practiced, but also
Oh yeah.
because so one of Imric's funny because has such a high fire resist. If the lizardmen try to bring any like solar engines or salamanders, they do like he's so immune to fire.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Makes
there he
sense.
is. There's Imric.
I mean, and the thing about the Star Dragon is it only has, what, 70 armor baseline? So the Solar Engine actually does pretty 80. That's right. It does pretty effective damage.
80 armor. 80 armor.
But, yeah, but with Imric has his natural missile resist, and the 70% fire resist combined.
Yeah.
Like, I remember a game where Lizardman had like 2 solar engines like shooting him the entire game, and he took no damage. He finished the game at like almost full health and completely destroyed everything the Lizardman had.
Yeah, it's really rough. I mean, in that situation with the Solar Engine, you'd want to tag him like once every, I don't know, how long is the blind debuff? It's like 10 seconds, 20 seconds?
I'd say you only want to tag him when like he's fighting or about to fight.
Yes, exactly. You want to be very tactical about hitting him and then immediately switching onto something else, and then just like watch the debuff, like when it drops off, hit him again. You know, like
yeah, but that was the beauty of the like other high elf build where there was nothing to shoot at except Imric, and Lizardman really had nothing to take him out with. It looks like Taco's not gonna have the same problem.
yeah, he went very melee centric, which is definitely the right call. I just rush them and crush them.
Also, Aerocrastic, hello.
Arrow,
Hey, Arrow.
Also in the chat,
okay.
He muted himself
He
immediately,
muted
which means
himself.
he's a very shy ever-chosen, but we love him.
I mean, when I think Aerocrastic, I think shy. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Never.
Never.
I haven't actually. Okay, I'm just ordering food right now, and then I'll be like more present somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, but just looking at it, it looks like Imric's gonna have to basically carry the entire game.
Unleashes high elf superiority.
Mm.
Yeah, either Imric hard carries, or this is gonna be a rough time for the high elves.
I mean, isn't that somewhat always the time when you have Imric there because he costs like what 3,300 something like that?
Kind of. Yeah, there are times
hear me
when
now?
Imric just has to survive. Yeah, Arrow, start talking.
Hello.
Talking. Words.
Oh,
Words.
you
Words.
have
Words.
a lot of
Words.
echo.
Words.
Like,
Wow.
you're
Kind of
really-
echoey.
So
yeah.
so eloquent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the echo is. So I got my microphone set up just the other day. However, unfortunately, I'm in a very open space, so that's probably why my voice is echoing.
You don't have your furniture yet?
No.
Oh.
Or well, I do, but I'm sitting in the middle of the living room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you know, if we just turned you up and added some bass, you could be like the voice of God.
Literally.
Also, I don't know the mic model you have. I know Turin sent me the link for the same one, but I haven't looked at it really. Does it have like a specific directional setting you have to like manually switch onto?
You mean in terms of like cardiac, athletic, things like that, right?
Yeah, like my Snowball has a couple settings where one will pick up like all around the sides, one picks up only like directional from the front. But it's like an actual physical switch like on the back. Mike, I don't know a lot about this kind of stuff. I'm kind of a Neanderthal when it comes to technology, to be honest. Having it in a big open space, especially with like hard floors and no carpet, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm moving it closer to my face.
There we go. Meanwhile, Tirnock Chariot's doing some really nice hit and run damage. Wow.
Okay,
Tyrannok chariots against lizardmen? This is wild. What are you doing? That's awesome, though. I love that.
Well, they're good against skinks, and for an army like this, that overwhelming numeric pressure is definitely something to consider.
Ooh,
And can their like range damage kill model the Sun Calf, for example?
not quickly.
Not
Doesn't do
quick,
enough
yeah.
AP, and it's kind of a scatter shot. I mean, I guess it's okay if it gets good hits, because the lizard cav have what, like 80 armor?
90.
90? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
mean, I do like Tyrannok chariots. I just wish that they were 850 again or something.
Yeah, they're too expensive.
Yeah, they're one of those units where I don't want them buffed. I just want their price reduced.
Same with Reichsguard, actually. I was just looking at Reichsguard the other day. I did a video about them after someone brought them in that Empire mirror in my stream, and it's interesting. Reichsguard are just like more Empire Knights, but they're just a little bit too expensive. Honestly, even at just 1100, I think they'd be a lot better. Like, just minus 50 cost would do them wonders. Good engagement here, though. The Groxigors and the monsters and everything. Yeah, the Fireborn are just getting overwhelmed with numbers right now, and that's kind of the problem with High Elves.
That's the
Or
problem, with Imric.
Imric.
Like anytime,
Yeah.
you see Imric's up in the air. Anytime he's pulling out, anytime he's up in the air, anytime he's not directly fighting, you are down 3,000 gold.
Yeah.
Like a hard 3,000 gold that you need. Like,
And it's not like he
So-
can really land either. I mean,
and
here
yeah,
he's
that's
going
the problem.
to,
You have
but
to be stupid aggressive with him, but now he's gonna get like, just pummeled.
yeah,
double,
teamed by the
triple team.
Manticore. He's got all the monsters. The Lizard Cab, too, will keep him on the ground. And then here comes the Carnosaur.
I mean, at least the nice thing that Imric has going for him is that he is arguably the best duelist in the game. He's just also the most expensive one.
Yeah,
I don't know if
exactly.
that's true, though. His HP pool is pretty small if you compare to something like Wolfric. Or
But
even like
compared to something
Durthu.
like, in terms of duelists, it's more like a Carl situation where he's useless without heals, but like with heals, he is the best duelist in the game.
And because of the high
Except for
price
Carl.
of High Elf mages, it drives his base cost up to basically 4,000.
Yep. He's
Mhm.
gonna get a heal here and get away, but the Fireborn didn't get any healing, I don't think.
It looks like he didn't get away
I
just
do
yet.
kind of
Oh,
agree
no.
with Imric in the Lizardman matchup, but
I think the Rangers
Hard
were
to
kind
make
of
him
an awkward inclusion.
It's hard to
here.
make the
Yeah.
army
I
work with
agree
it.
because you have chariots to deal with skinks. You don't
Yeah.
need rangers
Yeah.
to chaff clear. It ends up being redundant.
100%. You need just Spearman or Silver and Guard, honestly.
Lizardmen never win. I mean, sorry, High Elves never win.
I don't know, though, honestly. I might roll something. Imric on horseback might even be a little bit of a better play, because he's almost... It doesn't hit quite as hard, but it's pretty close. Granted, you don't have the breath attacks, but he's not that expensive on his horse either. There's only, what, like 1,700?
Well,
You know?
Imric
Maybe
on
the
the
mass
horseback,
issue then?
maybe.
Like the same problem as Tyrion, getting stuck and shit?
Well, yeah, but like Tyrion costs as much as a Star Dragon and gets stuck. Imric is only like 1,800.
Yeah.
True, true.
And like keeping him, especially if you have like him plus a noble, that can be a pretty good anti-hero hit squad. And then you still get flammable, so if you want to get some fire synergy, you can. But I don't know, or maybe even rolling the old school like many dragon princes viable. I don't know. People kind of went away from that, but I don't know, like 3 to 4 dragon princes with just to build purely to support them, basically. I don't know. Maybe it could work. Some Plague of Rust and charge the dinos. Or even just ultra-wide Plague of Rust archers. I've seen that work too. That's just tough, man. This is kind of an issue that I run into with the Empire against Lizardmen as well. Like, you want to play with your ranged units. Like, you need to play off of them to a degree because you won't win a melee fight straight up. But you have a really hard time protecting your ranged units.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
especially because, like, with the build that Taco brought there, it was all melee, basically, right? Like, all the Lizard Cavalry have really good mass, they can punch through, and Like pound for pound, they'll beat Silver Helms and Empire Knights like very cost effectively. Weird one.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Well, the funny thing is, so Valerio on like Eagle plus Star Dragon is going to cost the same, if not a little more, than Imric and Life Mage, but it still feels like you get more mileage out of it, just because I guess Larion Eagle is the more maneuverable healer, and Star is stronger heal.
Yeah, it doesn't use any winds of magic, so then you can stack the Earthbloods on top of that, or, you know, whatever other spells.
How's this?
Actually, pretty good. Give us a little more sultry sound to your voice.
My name is Aerocrastic. My avatar is of Sigvald the Magnificent.
Very
My
nice.
voice is not of Sigvald the Magnificent. I echo slightly. Peach Snapple tea is one of my favorites. Before every tournament I play, I always drink 1 bottle of Nesquik's strawberry milk.
Is that the key?
That's awesome. No, but that stuff's so good though. Like, I totally understand. It gives you superpowers.
Yeah, it is my favorite.
If only Sigvald's ass wasn't so flat.
Oh my god.
Right? Man, the Footlords. I've been having some discussions with people recently about Footlords and just how, like, in order to be good, they need abilities that they can cast at range.
It's like Krokgar on foot with Hand of the Gods, which we might see today
Maybe.
at some point. I know Taco likes that.
Like, Hand of the Gods, I mean, magic missile's okay, but, like, I don't know, like, Hellebrand, even on foot or on horseback, has her ability that she can throw at a range, right? Or, like, even the Chaos Spawn summon, obviously, for Morgur is just really strong because it's a Chaos Spawn summon. You get 2 of them, but also, again, you can use one of them at a reasonably short range. It's like, oh, there's the other side of the formation. Like, well, I like Thorgrim because he's got Oath of Vengeance. You can throw that, like, over there, so your hammerers can smash something, you know, over there where you can't get to because you're a slow footlord.
Yeah.
Them not having any mobility, they can compensate for that by making their abilities be usable at range. I think that should just be true of all footlords. Sigvald has nothing that you can use at range, right?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going towards that model more. Like with the, so you're looking at what they did with Greenskins and Grimgor, Skarsnik, they all have the debuff they can throw at range, even if they can't reach the opponent's monster or lord, they can still affect it and let something else do the damage.
Yes. Yeah, and I would like for them to go back and update some of the older lords who would benefit from that, I guess.
I would also like for Game 3 to come out.
Yeah, but some of that stuff wouldn't be... I mean, it doesn't have to wait for Game 3. It just gives Sigvald a new ability that he can use at a range. Like, that's...
Yeah, but I think they want to do all those changes as a package deal.
Well, lore-wise, Sigvald is kind of useless, so I guess it doesn't really, like...
Well, it's lore accurate.
He's called a duelist, but every person he's ever dueled, he's lost to, basically.
Wait, really?
Or someone
Yeah,
else
probably.
like has to bail his ass out. So.
He should have some kind of seduction ability, though. I mean, a lot of other characters have seduction abilities that aren't, like, Sigvald.
They're not nearly as good looking as Sigvald.
Yeah, I don't know. Morathi and Sigvald need to, like, have a talk.
Well, apparently Sigvald has a wife.
I'm gonna doubt
Very
that.
not
I'm gonna press doubt on that. I mean, maybe in the lore, but he worships Sladesh, like...
Well,
No, he does have a life, yeah. It's just weird.
On paper.
Does he have like a normal family life when he's not slanishing around?
minus the kids, yeah, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Just lives in a little quiet cottage on the coast of Norska.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Seduction equals minus melee attack, according to
Well,
CA.
the funny part about his lore is that apparently he had a giant palace of Slanesh erected in the middle of the Chaos Wastes. And then as it started kind of deteriorating and getting run down, instead of asking Slanesh to fix it, he asked Slanesh to to just make another one. So he made another one.
That's much
I'm
easier.
certain. Yeah, Slanesh is such a good sugar mommy daddy.
Both.
Most of both maybe, both depending on the day. Oh, Lux, you do have friends. Just I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
Wait, who's saying this?
in my chat, in my stream chat.
Who said that?
Lux.
Lux,
Lux? Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Oh my god, rip.
Lux is
we're here
in
for you,
everybody's
Lux.
chat. I thought he liked me, but then I found out that he was actually like in everybody's chat all the time. Perfect.
Oh, so now he's been moved from the friend zone to nothing. Is that what you're telling us?
He was, yeah. You broke my heart. Sugar mama, yeah, wag.
Well, if you had anything to give, maybe, but...
Slanesh is whatever sugar mama daddy, whatever you want
Yeah,
it to be. I guess, right? That's the way Slanesh
Yeah.
works.
Slanesh is just gives and gives, never asking for anything in return.
Except for all the
Gift that
yummy
keeps
elf
on
souls. Oh wait, that's 40k.
Yeah. Wait,
No,
don't
they-
we do that in
they
the
do.
lore of
Yeah,
fantasy?
they do.
Same thing here. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never really understood why elf souls are supposedly the most prized.
Because they live for so long and they study so many things that they're just so full of juicy goodness.
Goodness?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, it's the Beastmen. Okay, I have to watch this one with like some level of attention.
That gives a whole new meaning to the word soul food.
So I should update the list. We've got Happy Puppy, Hadriz, Ryder Rohan, whose art is being displayed on screen right now, and also Aerocrastic is here.
Hello, hello. And I'll only be here for another 20 to 30 minutes because I have to go.
All good. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay. Black or Babas, yeah.
All souls should be immortal,
This is
but
weird.
I don't know. I guess something about the elves living longer or being particularly poncy, or maybe it's the pointy hats. I honestly don't know.
It's because they have much more extreme emotions, and Slanesh enjoys torturing them.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Oh,
It's fun. She considers it, or he, whatever, considers it more fun to break elves.
Uh-huh. I guess you might as well just say it. That kind of encompasses everything, right?
you could say they. Isn't that like better?
That's probably
think-
less offensive, yeah.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to hurt like Slanesh's feelings.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, they never did anything to me personally, so like, what they do
Or
with their
maybe-
molecules on their own time is not my issue.
How do you guys feel about this Greenskin build? Because I actually
Um,
feel very optimistic about it.
Beastmen. This is an interesting one. The Beastmen didn't take the right build, I don't think, actually. But
I haven't seen the Beastman build and feel bad about it.
basically, Beastmen, you win by taking 5 monstrous infantry plus summons. In my experience, like you just smash them really hard with spawns plus minotaurs. And
Yeah, that's usually how people do that.
Well, you can also take the Centigor Razorgore approach, or even kite
That's
them a
nice.
little bit.
kinda. I guess since they don't have healing, it's just most Greenskins units have a lot of HP, so like, I don't know, Centigors being squishy and having low ammo becomes an issue.
Kind
Oh,
of.
you mean, yeah.
Well, even big uns, due to the lack of charge defense, suffer quite a bit off. And Centigors have a tendency to like knock them over. So if you get a cycle going well enough, then you can pretty easily kill like a Savage Orc big un. with a bit
Ooh,
of
those spider riders need to move.
I don't think I'd bring like the Centigors with throwing axes necessarily, because for me they never pay for themselves, or almost never. So
Yeah, they are a pretty overrated unit, in my opinion.
Wait, are they overrated? Do people actually say they are good?
I see a lot of people try and take them,
Oh,
especially
yeah,
if they're
maybe.
new to Beastmen. They haven't, because they think like, oh, Beastmen struggle against large armored monsters, is what everyone says. Like this, throw armor-piercing missile unit, that must be good. And
Yeah,
it's not.
if they're behind your line, and you know your line is gonna be pushed by some big monster, then like when the monster is behind, like once the monster pushed through your infantry, you kind of have the range to shoot at it, but you can't use it as
The
anti-skirmish
usefulness
car.
Yeah.
of throwing axes, I feel, is that you use them primarily as a melee cavalry that has a missile attack, and the reason why you get away with this is because the nature of missile units is to be very cost effective, even if you don't use up all the ammo. So, if you lose like, let's say, half of your Centigors in the process, you start out with 2 or 3 units, and now you have 2 or 3 like half health ones. They still, at that point, if they're safe, do have quite a bit that they can do, and you've already committed them to melee. But the problem being that they kind of have to fulfill that dual purpose.
And my issue with them is they don't really have the stats. Like, I'd have to pull up their stats and look, but their melee stats are really not that good, and their charge bonus, I think, is even, like, pretty subpar. I mean, I'd say their melee stats, if I remember right, they're, like, on par with, like, a Dark Rider, right? Or, like, an Illyrian Reaver, maybe, even if that. Probably not that.
Well, depending on the situation, their perfect vigor comes into play. So in late game, they're extra valuable if they're, like, still active, just because of perfect vigor is going to give them the edge.
Yeah, but that means that you haven't engaged them too much, because if you use them, like, they won't have bestial surge anymore, and so they won't have perfect vigor.
Yeah,
right?
I think the rowdy is leadership conditional, if I remember right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
On
that
the
it's
chart,
because
yeah, but vigor is funny because on the charge, their leadership will be higher, right?
Yeah.
So as they charge in late game, and if they're charging in late game, their leadership won't be wavering, so they'll have +4 leadership and perfect vigor. So no, in late game scenarios, they'll still end up with perfect vigor.
Yeah, depending on how much HP they have left, it kind of like.
If they're on like their last few health and model,
that's
but
true.
if they're like 25%, they should still be fine in late game. Yeah.
By the way, this game happening here is more or less as I thought, was just a giant melee crush, and the big ends actually fell apart to the spawns, which they just can't stand up to that high of a volume of mass. The big ends are very strong, but now it's just like Stone Trolls and Bob. Can they take it?
Also, the Centigor play has been pretty decent. They're like threatening the back lines and stopping the skirmish guy with the what's their face? Greenskins.
Yep.
Yeah,
Golden
from
Riders.
supporting the middle line.
Oh, and he
The
does
big
have the
front
butchers
line.
too, charging in now on the trolls. Bonus versus large on them though from Skarsnik. Skarsnik's getting mauled by Morgar, kinda. Yeah, he's down to like half HP almost.
Morgar can do some decent damage with his pin claw.
Yeah, and it's a good matchup for Morgar because Skarsnik doesn't hit infantry units that hard, and Morgar counting as a regenerating infantry lord. It actually has like decent weapon strength to hit back at Skarsnik and attack and everything. So
I know.
Yeah.
So I know people got a lot of like tunnel vision on Skarsnik because of how powerful the rampage ability is, but I think it's been rebalanced to a point where you shouldn't take Skarsnik unless Skarsnik himself is like a useful chassis.
yes,
I actually think that that Azag tends to be better in this matchup.
yes, I agree 100%. Azag is
Same.
in a lot of matchups is actually probably the best. His support abilities are very strong now, and also, yeah, you have Flying Lord of Death terror still.
Against Beastmen specifically, Beastmen struggle against any Flying Lord, just because they're... What are they gonna do to take the skies from you? Harpies aren't gonna be enough.
Harpies used to be able to kill Azag, but since he got the melee defense buff, I think he can hold up
If
to
they
them.
don't route, that's...
Maybe 2 harpies could take it,
I know...
but that's a big
No,
investment.
the Dark Elf ROR Harpy can beat Azag in the sky pretty reliably. So, if we want to use that as a base, then it's doable. But yeah, regular harpies more likely to route.
Yeah, for who is the for Taco, the keeping the summon Sagor to the end was good. I think he kept it for the right time.
Yeah, there
the
was one
terror
earlier,
again.
but this, keeping that second one until, just to make sure you have the terror in the late game once Bob's gone, which he's not. Bob's literally the
he
last
has
one
the
left.
Yeah, he does need that extra single entity power, but like here's the other thing with Bob that I don't like either. So like a lot of people take him just kind of by default to support a Stone Troll blob, and while I do think that he is very useful, I'm gonna have to take a look at it. But I feel like in this case, most of the time when you take Bob, it's again with the chassis thing. He himself has to do something useful,
Yes.
otherwise he's too expensive.
Yes.
For an anti-psych aura, would you say maybe Grom is better than Bob?
I don't even know if you need one.
Generally speaking, you probably don't. Like I've
Don't
played.
butchers cause terror? I'd be worried about
They
that.
do,
Yeah,
but
the butchers-
WoW gives immune to psychology now, and if you time, I don't know, if it's only the butchers that cause terror, that you can manage them. You know, if it's like one terror unit, you can kind of manage it. With the Manticore summons or Cygor summons possible, then maybe you would want more. But honestly, like from what I find with the summons, you can kind of time your WoW pushes if you need to prevent terror routes.
Well, for this matchup in particular, like, you always want to and kind of have to contest the Beastman mobility to a degree. And when you kind of go all in on this sort of a blob strat, then you kind of every game tends to play out exactly like this. You get surrounded, bunch of summons come in, you can't avoid them. They basically just ride a value train all over you. And then in the late stages of the game, it's a bunch of like tattered units with a couple of single entities on the Beastman side, versus a couple single entities on the Greenskin side. Any summons from that point tends to finish off the game. So
Yeah.
I didn't see what mobility Zach had. Oh, he had 3 units of. Yeah.
Yep.
They're not bad. Like they're very good mobility units.
Oh, they're really cost effective.
Yeah.
GG. It was
GG.
But they got caught.
GG.
Like, I think they can keep up. Like, even with the speed buff that the Centigors got, I think with the 20% debuff of the poison, you can keep kiting Centigors with the Spider Riders archers for like basically forever.
Yeah,
I'm
as
not
long
sure
as they
if
don't hit
it's
their
true.
charge animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep running from them, but the damage that you get out is typically not like significant enough to, stop the Centigors from chasing you a little bit and then going, well, now that I'm behind your army, I'll just recharge something.
I would mix Wolf Rider archers in for more damage because they have more volume and do a little bit more damage in practice. So like you mix like one Spider Rider and 2 Wolf Rider archers.
Yeah. Well, I know people hate backseat gaming, but if I were to give some personal critiques on the build, I'd say Skarsnik and Thrag should have probably been Azag.
Yep.
And I don't think that the...
Wait, I requested. What do you think we're here for exactly?
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. You got me there. But yeah, I'd probably see Skarsnik and Thrag replaced with Azag, and his Ard armor also is very nice against the general lack of Beastman armor piercing.
Yes.
I probably would have liked to see, instead of Bob and the Stone Troll blob, I think Stone Trolls are fine, but I would have liked to see at least Bob converted into more mobility, so either more Rider Archers of some sort, or, Forest Goblin Spider Riders, the melee variant.
Yes.
Something like that.
Melee Spider Riders, especially if you dump some chevrons into them, can be very, very good here. Also, it's interesting. Biggins are very good in this matchup, but they're so obvious that I might switch to Black Orcs, because Black Orcs will trade. Well, they'll not get killed as badly by spawn, basically, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I think the meta is kind of in that direction where people are so ready for the big gun front line. You come in with a Black Orc front line, and it's like that one change is actually enough to flip it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they're so different in terms of armor and damage. I mean, just like two.
Exactly.
Like,
That's why I like to bring one unit of. I bring it to most matchup with the Beastmen, but I really think that the what's his face Razok or Chariot there can be like useful because it can kill Black Orcs, and also the fact that it has decent HP pool on each one of the models makes it pretty good at stopping single entities in their track if they want to retreat or stuff like that. I think it's like an underrated unit, honestly.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Razorgore chariots. On the flip side, speaking of chariots, Goblin Wolf chariots might not be a terrible pick here either, because they can do a little bit of skirmish damage if they get chased by Centigors. They'll do good anti-infantry damage against all the Beastmen infantry, except Bestigors, which are not super common here. I mean, they're not going to do much to the spawn, but they'll shoot them a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that makes me nervous about wolf chariots is that they are particularly susceptible to getting stuck and killed in monstrous infantry.
Yes.
And normally Beastmen have a plethora of that at their disposal. So,
Damn.
probably, would be good in the context that you avoid that monstrous infantry, but it's also pretty much everywhere. So
Yeah.
and that's a tall order.
Yeah. In practice, just Wolf Rider archers greater volume and so on. It's just better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, good. These are two coast mains. Gonna fight each other.
This one will probably two rush mains versus each other, and now two, let's say, ranged mains maybe.
Oh, I like it. What I'm seeing. I'm seeing coast versus counts. Can we get it?
No.
Yeah,
By
there we
Sigmar,
go.
no.
Mm,
No.
Good undead.
I'm gonna go throw up real quick.
Yeah. So, my, I guess, hot take about Vampire Coast is their only source of goodwill is their trailer. If their trailer wasn't so badass and their song wasn't so great, nobody would like them even a little.
I disagree. See, here's why. I like a couple things. Literally like two characters and one unit, right? So there's the Gunnery Wight, which let's just take a minute to appreciate that there is a hero level zombie in the game. Like, out of any zombie in the game, that's the most that they could ever aspire to, is to be a Gunnery Wight, which is awesome. Gunny's a cool dude. Also, you have a Pistolier Lord. Granted, she's an undead, scum vampire, but she is a Pistolier Lord, so I have to give some credit there. And the Fire Necrophex is pretty cool.
Well, to be honest, I know the only reason why you put the Pistol Vampire there is because she's cute, and I agree. But
I mean, I would never ever date a vampire ever. I mean, maybe if she held me at pistol point,
There's a couple of jokes here I could make about the nature of vampires. I should probably keep things mostly PG-13 here, though. So
No.
I will.
We'll do a discussion on my OnlyFans. How about that?
Excellent.
Sure. That sounds like a plan.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be horrible though. It's interesting picking counts into Coast, because generally Coast is seen as like a good anti-cav and monster faction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I mean, maybe you just go infantry spam and try and grind through them just because you have more healing as counts.
I think playing against Anticity in particular, this is actually a very good counter pick, because Anticity is not very proficient with the use of the Coast monsters, so if he has to delve into that playstyle, it's going to be a little bit novel of an experience for him. Whereas Vampire Counts, as a counter pick specifically for that sort of wide gunline based Coast army, actually performs very well. So
Yeah, exactly.
maybe this is more of a like a metagame counter pick. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah,
I could see
and
it.
it's interesting too, because like Flying Lords, Luther is nasty here. Luther is just horrible for vampire casters to have to deal with, like Counts Lord casters especially. But I mean, you can bring a much bigger and more dangerous flying squad, right, as Counts.
Yeah, when it comes to air, so the way I look at it, if Coast goes air, they have to really commit to it, otherwise there's port in it. Then Counts go air, they they usually beat the Coast air because they're usually the ones in melee. Coast has like some ranged units if they try for gun bats. And it's the same thing with any army where you have ranged units getting overwhelmed by melee units. In the air, there's not much in the way of blockers, so
Yeah.
I think Counts end up with an advantage there.
Yeah, and in theory, you could say, you know, ground fire support to the air should be enough, but in practice, that's often interrupted or not possible, so...
No. Intensity's gunline style could, like, the gunline style really depends on putting so much range pressure out there that your opponent makes mistakes and just takes horrible losses for basically no effort from the Coast player. But the other way Coast can play this is with a very tight blob of their own, with like a Necrofex just shooting for damage and attacking rule, obviously.
Yeah.
And just blob around that with some powerful monsters, and that can be a problem for Counts, especially like the what is it? The flame. I want to say the flame Necrofex.
Yes.
Should have fire damage.
It does, yes,
Yeah,
in
it
melee,
does.
and it has 500 weapon damage in total. So I mean, even though it's anti-infantry, it still will deal really good damage to like Blood Knights, and it can fight Terrorgeists in melee.
It can fight Terrorgeists. I mean, I've seen it beat an Arachnarok spider, so
Yeah, it's
it can
a
do the
really good
kaiju
monster. Like I'm not really, I like it. Oh, and he brought it. Great pick, nice. Yeah, I really like that pick here. The Banshees, Banshees are an interesting one though. He did bring a caster with Spiteful Shot, probably only on that Lore of Deeps, if I had to guess. Which Spiteful Shot, the magic works in melee and at ranged, right? So yes, the accuracy buff is a thing, but also you could just cast it when you're fighting the Banshees in melee. Interesting. Yeah, I really like the Fire Necrofex. In general, I think it's a very underrated unit, and also specifically in this matchup, because like its biggest weakness is to counter ranged fire, and that doesn't exist here.
And I'm back.
Yeah, just Spiteful Shot there.
Welcome back.
Exactly. Well, and Taunt as well, which of course is quite good, and the Power Stone.
So kind of a funny thing about this matchup, to kind of vociferate the Chinese community's general opinion on it. They actually think it's very difficult for Vampire Coast when you can't take both Necrofexes, so that's just one normal one in the Gallows Giant.
Really? Interesting. I mean, that makes sense, though. Taking both would be very strong in this matchup. Absolutely. But I don't know that, like, defeats this matchup entirely.
Definitely helps for sure.
Yeah, it definitely helps. I'll agree with that.
Dev? I'm dying too much here. I can't focus. So I'm gonna go. Sorry.
Yeah, no
about
worries.
that.
Thanks for
take a lie
joining.
down.
Wish you
And yeah, if
well
you
with your
want to-
recovery and everything, and yeah.
Yeah, I should be
Later.
back to like the regular Happy Peppy on like Monday or Tuesday, and I could start streaming again and making coherent sentences and stuff like that. Okay, have a good time, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Remember to stay
Don't sound
hydrated.
Oh yeah. And let's look at the counts build here. Okay, 2 coaches. That's interesting. In theory, I like it, but in practice, I feel like coaches don't have enough mass. Maybe
Well,
I'm
the main
wrong.
reason for them is that you do still need some source of magic damage to deal with Banshees and Sirens. Otherwise,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
that unit type.
we might see, if Inticity isn't careful, we
Ooh.
might see regular bats kill gun bats, and regular bats will kill gun bats. So Inticity needs to get out of there.
We burned a spiteful shot right there. Overcasted it
That's not-
even. That's not
Oh, he
great.
overcast it.
Yeah, because it overcasted it to get the extra, whatever. I actually don't know. Range, effect duration.
Duration. Yeah.
Duration, yeah. With the gun bats, I think it's best to, from my limited experience with gun bats, and I have a little, but it's best to wait until something has started fighting something.
Yes.
Move the gun bats right on top of them, and then give the order to fire.
Yes.
That's
I feel like he's
usually when
being
they're
a
most
bit
active.
premature with his spell usage here because normally speaking, you'll never have enough freedom to really focus fire until the mid to late game.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was just wasted Winds of Magic, even if he were hypothetically able to sit on the Banshee for a little bit.
Yeah, which he isn't, and I definitely agree. I mean, I think you just save it and wait until you can get it either. Again, just use it in melee. Like, that's going to be a lot more reliable if you have the Banshee surrounded by something. Banshees are just pretty small targets for gunbats to try and hit too. I mean, they are accurate enough, but
Yeah,
It's really like if they're moving, then
they're tanky, they're fairly annoying, but realistically, you'll never deal with them until much later. So
yeah. And see, like now, you could have just saved it until now. Cast it on the fire necrofax as it's fighting the Banshee in melee, and it'll like two-shot the Banshee. You know.
yep.
So, nice focus on the black coaches, though. The disruption's not quite on time. The bats are just now getting into combat, and the bats are also busy dealing with bats, so they can't really tie down the guns. Granted, might not be enough if the coaches start to get, like, their damage resistance and stuff. They're getting a little healing as well.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that.
Oh, there we go.
Is making. Oh, that's the shot.
That's the shot. Yep. Spiteful shot. Look at that Banshee just get smashed. Oh, I love that.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Inticity is doing a good job focusing on like the priority targets.
Yep. Blood Knights getting wrecked right
Once-
there.
Yeah, once all the things that can threaten the necrofax are gone, I think Coast will have it, but
I mean, I honestly think he's already in that position more or less. It's just the black coaches that need to be
Needs to be
careful.
careful.
With.
with
Oh,
his
this is bad
characters,
though.
but-
He got the Banshee away. Look at that, almost full health again, and the fleet captain's going down here.
Yep. Good micro from VC. And both coaches are still up. So in late game, if coaches have their all their powers up, they can do work against single entities, like
Yep.
two of them bumper cars.
Yep, looks like the
I do
Banshee's
think one
going after the
mistake.
caster there. But, oh
Yeah.
man, now Isabella, what? Okay, everything falls apart now because I didn't realize that he brought. I mean, maybe to heal the Banshees, I guess, but. I
Well,
don't know.
the Blood Chalice heals for 2,400, 2,500 hit points, and Banshees have a total of 2,300. So no matter what, it's a full heal basically.
It's an
Nice.
extra Banshee, yeah. Ooh,
The
good.
caster goes
I
down
think
there.
Good takeoff. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Isabella might go down here. Ooh,
Nah,
some of those missiles
Isabella's-
missed.
Isabella will be fine. But I think counts can take this.
Yeah,
In
killing that
fact,
caster
I'd
was
say it's
big.
even swinging in their favor. And not losing the what was it? The Banshee right away. That
Yes.
was important.
Very important. Yeah, good micro to get that away, heal it up. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of the support units for Coast are starting to run out. The Crypt Ghouls were a good choice because they chewed through the zombies pretty quick.
And what I'd mainly like to note is the Fistek brought what, 3 bats, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's perfect. That is, if the opponent has overcommitted to air, it's no problem. It's just 3 bats. But if they haven't, and it's like just 2 gun bats, like Inticity had, you win the air fight like by default, and it's like basically what counts want.
Yeah.
I am a little bit nervous by how thin the coast is looking on the ground right now. There's a lot of like single entities that are slightly beat up, but none of them are actually dead.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's yeah. It's looking close to point of no return.
Yeah. I think.
It's
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's done.
What the main issue is, if the spiteful shotcaster was still alive, I would say maybe he casts it on the Necrofex Colossus now, deletes the Banshee. That kind of pulls him basically where he needs to be. But that Banshee dealing consistent damage to the Gallows Giant right now, and the Gallows Giant just can't hit her.
Yep.
So, yeah, no, it's over.
And overcasting the spiteful shots, I think, is a mistake, because, I mean, you get...
The early plays, yeah.
Yeah. You just burn all your magic too fast.
Oh, big leg.
Oh, somebody crashed the game with Invocation of Nehek.
Somebody overcast Neck. It's over.
Like a crash. I'd say at this point I'd give the win to Fistek, though.
Yeah.
I would agree. We'll see how Turn calls it. But yeah, this is the other reason. Vampire counts, or no, any Lore of Nehek is the strongest magic because it crashes the game.
Yep.
On a semi-consistent level. I mean, that's power right there.
Hey, this is good, though. A big public crash to get CA to realize they need to fix it, finally.
Maybe they can fix crumbling while they're at it.
What was that?
Maybe they can fix crumbling while they're at it.
Oh, gee. Maybe not. The thing is, though, they're going to need to fix it like before or for Game 3, because the demons basically have the same mechanic, more or less.
Oh boy.
Yep. Except in tabletop, if you rolled a certain number on your leadership, you could actually have the entire unit come back instead of all die.
Alright, looks like I have to get going, guys.
Crying.
So
Later.
I will be back in 7 hours, maybe. By then we'll probably be finished, but
If you
Yes.
survive. No, they're gonna crash like 2 more times. You'll be back to see the last game, I'm sure.
perfect. Well, by then I'll probably be inebriated beyond imagination because my dad has already started me on day drinking, and I need to see my family today, which always involves a lot of drinking. So,
Good.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Tavares.
yeah.
Have a good time.
Bye bye. Go back and get some drink.
I'm not much of a drinker myself.
Hey man, all I drink is water.
Yeah. My weakness is like energy drinks, which is arguably maybe worse than alcohol, but it doesn't make me do as many stupid things. Also, it doesn't destroy my stomach like alcohol does.
Yeah, and your liver.
Hopefully they remove all the factions with Nehek. I mean, there you go. There's a solution. Just remove all vampires. Yeah. That's... The double undead is so gross.
Maybe they'll get to replay it. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Most likely not.
But yeah, I agree with early on spending that spiteful shot to try to hit a moving banshee. That's a misplay.
How much
sure.
is it to overcast? Like 8 wins magic?
Should be 8, yeah.
Not that much, but at the same time, that's an invocation.
It's an investment. It's an invocation, yeah, and it's like I said, it's actually I think better to just undercast it. Oh no, it's only 6 overcast, so
that's not that bad.
It's not bad, though. Still, definitely better to wait for the Banshee to be engaged with something than get the bats on top of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like Fistek is gonna take Lord on a Banshee, or not on a Banshee, on a Pegasus dead thing. I don't know. The Crab obviously would have been a better pick there because you get more armor and more HP. Granted, you don't get knocked over, but miscast damage doesn't do that much AP. If I remember right, I think it's like 50-50. I'd have to double check. Maybe I'm completely wrong and it's all AP, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't do that much AP damage. Actually, like taking a mount with more armor will make you take less miscast damage.
Yeah, mages generally better with armor, and the crab will take less miscast, I think.
Yeah, well, and just even more HP too means you have more HP to work with. It's always better. It's a weird one. Let's see what they do here, though, in terms of faction picks. That's a good build from Counts. I mean, Isabel is a little bit of a meme, but I guess it is a one-shot full heal for the Banshee, and you don't have to have any kind of passive healing sources. Like, you don't have to bring any Corpse Guards or Mortis Engines or anything else. So...
I like it.
So what did they do with the match? Just take out the win?
Yeah, just take out the win.
Yep.
Putting them on Troll Country.
Oh boy. This should be fun.
Please. Yes, thank you, Turd. That's all we ever wanted. And Fish Tech correctly goes for Norska right away, because yeah, that is the pick for Troll Country.
I would counterpick with Greenskins.
Anticity looking at Lizardman.
Ooh, that's also a interesting counterpick.
As long as he handles the jabs correctly.
Do javelins do armor piercing? Or is it just
They don't
anti-large?
need to. They have enough anti-large damage to kill them raw.
Yeah, it's not great. The Lizardman monsters, like Carnosaur's 90 and Stegodon's 110, which is low enough that they'll do enough. The Bastillodons, interestingly enough, at 150 are really not cost effective to shoot at with javelins. They just have too much armor. But anything that's like 110 and lower, you'll do effective damage to. Interestingly enough, and people would disagree with this because they're not as good for shooting pterodons, but I like the throwing axes a little bit better because they fight in melee better and they'll deal just pure armor piercing damage to all the monsters.
Versus air, they still do the work they need to do if they're right below the pterodons. So as long as you keep them moving and like hope the auto fire goes in your favor, you should be able to handle pterodons with throwing axes.
Yeah.
Just takes a little more work.
You could always mix too, take like 2 jabs, 2 throwing axes, and put the throwing axes on the flanks. So, you know, if they get collapsed by lizard cav or whatever, then they can fight a little bit better.
Intensity, no, he's picking Bretonnia versus. I hope he knows what he's doing.
Oh, against Norska?
On Troll Country.
On Troll
I
Country.
hope he knows what he's doing.
That's very risky. I mean, maybe he'll do what Taco did to me and pick some crazy Green Knight build and make it work.
Something like that, or, well, I mean, a Questing Knight buff blob. Like, buffing Questing Knights and cycling with Griffin Lord.
Oh man, like Searing Doom is just so good here.
But you can dodge that if need be, and I don't actually think that Norska will be doing that.
I don't know, Searing Doom, Final Transmutation, like that combo. You can dodge Searing Doom, but it's a much faster spin-up time than like Piercing Bolt's Burning, right? So,
yeah. It's possible that Intensity has practiced this matchup with a couple people, so maybe he does have a plan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he must feel comfortable enough because it's largely seen to be, you know, Norska favored, which I would kind of agree with. I
mean, I've picked Skaven into Norska just because I'm comfortable with that. Like, the thing with Norska is they have such a their roster is very strong, but it's also limited, so
yes.
you usually know what you're getting with them.
Yes.
So if you have a build or a faction that you're confident enough to take, just do it, and yeah, you know what Norska's gonna bring.
Yep. See, either Skinwolves or Fenrir, plus probably a Mammoth. Javelins, you know, lots of mobility potentially. it's pretty basic. Like, you're not going to see a lot of artillery, you're not going to see long-range missiles, you know, relatively limited magic selection. Granted, all very strong, but...
And also with the front, regards to the front line, it's usually just marauders or berserkers, like nothing high armored.
Yeah.
That's mostly because marauder champs with great weapons are just bad and never taken, and marauder champs themselves are usually dumped in favor of monstrous infantry.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see wild champs, and actually, this is a matchup where the extra melee defense can really come in handy against shock cav charges. Like, you'll still take, like, for certain cavs at least. I mean, yeah. I guess even Knights of the Realm still have, like, 60 charge, though, so maybe it actually doesn't help that much.
The melee defense would mainly help with questing knights that are not cycle charging.
Yes.
You see that with questing knights sometimes, like they're left in just because, hey, they're pretty good in the grind as well as the charge, so... yeah, melee defense might help versus grinding questing knights.
And, I mean, the armor, too, does help. That's certainly over something like Berserkers or regular Marauders. Or just charges and stuff, so, like the non-AP cav. It's going to be interesting. I mean, if halberds, I'm not going to lie, if the peasant polearms were cheaper, this matchup would be much easier. Like, could you imagine if the peasant polearms were, like, the same price as zombie polearms? Like, what, 425, something like that? Like, 450?
400.
400. Well, I would even say maybe peasant halberds could be slightly more expensive, but yeah, like 425. I think probably zombie halberds should also be 425.
You gotta pay for the privilege to route.
Yes, but at that, if you decrease that, then I mean across a group of 4, let's say, that would then afford you to be able to take a Grail Relic to actually make them not terror route. Because that would be what, like 150-ish cost decrease on all of them. I don't remember what they are offhand. They're what, 500, 550? Can't remember. Anyway, yeah, would definitely help. Same thing for Empire halberds too. Although that matchup's a lot easier because you have Knights of the Blazing Sun, which counters like half of Norska's roster.
Yeah, be great.
I remember not even knowing those existed for like a long time.
So cool. They're still to this day like one of the best DLC units in my opinion. Granted, I am super biased, but they just look so awesome. Like black and gold armor.
The progression with so Empire discovers they have Knights of the Blazing Sun. Good. Then they discover that you can do the fire synergy, Kindle Flame proc with the wizard and armor piercing damage buff from Cascading Fire Cloak, and then you get into the serious changes, where a Kindle Flame buffs a full Knights of the Blazing Sun charge. It's true power.
I think that was actually one of the first videos I ever made, was a video about countering, it was in Warhammer 1, like late stage Warhammer 1, countering Norska with Empire using Knights of Blazing Sun. That was literally the video. It was like one of my first 5 videos, I want to say. Yeah. Fire synergy's always been one of my favorite parts of the game, because, you know, lighting stuff on fire is fun.
Ain't it? Is the best. The Talents of Torquilada, when they added them, I was clapping. I remember, I was like, hell yeah.
It's Fey Green Knight Goat Trek.
Interesting. A lot of mobs, a lot of archers.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the Fey Green Knight Gotrek, Green Knight he does have to use well, but it depends on how many Famir. I found out the hard way that it is possible to not have enough Famir to kill the Green Knight, and even if you do have the right Famir in the right place, sometimes he'll just kill them.
It's possible. But yeah, Green Knight feels like an unnecessary risk here, but everything else looks good.
I almost don't hate it, though, as a distraction piece, because, like, your opponent's going to see that and think, like, immediately, okay, I need to make sure I preserve my magic damage units, which is most likely, in this case, Famir, right? Unless he brought Flaming Sword of Ruin, which most Norscan players
he either
wouldn't.
has Flaming Sword or he can just Fireball spam.
Show us your spells. Show us the spells, Turin. Come on.
No.
There we go. He does not have Flaming Sword.
No Flaming Sword. Then it's just going to be Fireball.
Yep.
Spam.
Fireball spam and the one Famir.
Well, on the flip side, the Skinwolf Werekin on Norska, also kind of an unnecessary risk take for a hero, so...
Yeah, it's like a
It's-
Gorbel kind of, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he gets knocked over by Cav easier, which is one of the few things that Gorbel does well is fight Cav. I say few things. That's unfair to Gorbel. He didn't deserve that.
Meh.
Oh, here comes the first
Green knight.
fireball. Stay by the face. You get the
Yep.
the fire the magic
He tried.
resistance.
Tries, and...
Oh, is he gonna block it with the Fae? No, that didn't do that much
No.
damage though. It was a little bit.
He's not regenerating unless he's in a forest, though, so that damage is going to stick until he commits magic to it.
Yeah,
Uh,
wheeling back with the
Okay,
side there,
so-
maybe.
It might sound weird, but I actually think the peasant archers are... Okay, so he's pushing in with Faye and Gotrek, but Norska's getting the wraparound.
Yeah,
with,
those mobs are gonna fall apart quick, and then all the archers are just gonna die. Quick tear route on Marauder though. Boat's gonna come through. It must have come through already. Didn't see it. Hit the questing knights. Okay. Kind of sacrificing those questing knights there. That's not great. But here comes the Green Knight, trying to assassinate the Fire Famir, maybe? Yeah, this is a lot of
Burning
ranged.
heads, boats. I think
So
that's...
yeah.
Hmm.
I
Maybe the peasant archers were the real...
Mistake. I think so.
Liability.
Yeah.
Green
Yeoman,
Knight.
actually, this is one matchup. Anytime where you're against the Jab Cav and Throwing Axe Cav only, the Yeoman can trade okay, because they can outrange him.
You can justify them, yeah.
And Norska's fast enough that you can't really protect peasant archers. Yeah, rip Bretonnia. Yeah, this is going to be over pretty quick, I think.
just watched the Green Knight carry.
Green Knight, Gotrek, and Fae can do a lot, but they're not that much. If they had Companions of Cornell to fight on, actually, I think that'd be better.
Yeah, it would be.
Or not the Companions of Cornell, or even the Beast Slayers of Bastogne, too. The Halberd Infantry would not be bad
If
also.
Awakening of the Wood actually summoned a tree to heal and buff the Green Knight, they would have a pretty good chance.
Yeah. Yeah, the Grail Guardians also is a weird one. Like, they don't really do AP damage. Like, they just tank, I guess.
Well, they tank, yeah. It's hard to say. Bretonnia can still come back in this game, but it's going to be rough.
Yeah. Yeah, the Green Knight's taking a lot of damage. Nice rear charge right here, though. Good little
Yeah.
surround on that blob of Mir and Skinwolves. If you can route them right here, that'll be huge.
Bretonnia needs RNG of the gods in the monster fights. Like, Gotrek and the Green Knight just need to delete the Werekin.
Oh, the Famir Terror routed. That's big. That's big. He needs to
big.
chase them off. He has to chase them off. And with them gone, the Green Knight is safer, right?
Yeah.
Oh, time for Wolfric to get involved. The balance of power is skewed because of the heroic situation, but granted, if the Fae gets taken out, then that's game blouses, right?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the balance of power is skewed actually because of the Skinwolf Werekin.
Yes.
It's a regen.
Oh, and
Counts.
Wolfric has like 10k HP too, right? Still.
Wolfric's HP is pretty huge too, yeah. So, we'll see.
Maybe. He's
Honestly-
making a run.
Wolfric can just smash Faye right now and end it.
Ooh, here it goes. There's another fireball that's probably going to hit the mammoth's butt. Keep those those cav moving. Just ignore the Werekin. Famir coming back in.
The Mara's going
They
for the
get
cavalry.
Cascading Fire Cloak. Nice. The phase drain is starting to come into play, though, the longer this fight goes on.
Yeah, like I said, Bretonnia just needs RNG of the gods now. That's their only way back, I think.
Oh, let's see. He's going to go try and snipe the fire from here.
Hey, yo, jump that boy.
Or just, yeah, just kind of pull around, hit different targets. Hold another boat there. Comment on the brutes. Nicely done. Forces them into an enrage.
Ooh, this may be a good chance to delete the Werekin. Like, just kill it, kill it, kill it.
Yep.
Full RNG bullshit, triple hit attack. Delete it.
Ooh, Wolfric got, Gotrek got a big hit there. Ooh, Reknight gets a huge hit. Phaenchantress also comes in. She has like 70-something charge bonus. She hits hard on the charge. Oh, but here comes Wolfric. Oh man, Faye's got to be careful. She can get like 2-shot right here, maybe. I don't know. Bretonnia might be able to pull this back. It's going to be close. Green Knight's at his healing cap almost, which is a problem.
I'm going to say the health difference is too high.
Yeah, probably.
Bretonnia's fighting for their fucking life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a scrap.
I mean, regrowth on Gotrek, please.
And see, it just more of a melee focused build would have been better here because the archers wouldn't have got run over so fast. Like even just spears and whatever else, you know, like just do a little bit of incidental damage.
Fight build, yeah. Faye being very brave, charging Wolfric in a bit.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow, that's a bold move, Phaenchantress. She does have okay melee defense. Without Hunter of Champions,
Wolfric,
maybe it's
if
fine.
Wolfric turns around. It's
Oh,
Green
Green
Knight
Knight's
just got-
gone. Yep. That's. I
Yep.
think that's it. I don't think. Yep, there he is. Fireball.
Yeah.
Rip.
Gotrek.
Oh, maybe though. I don't
Gotrek
know.
kills. If Gotrek smashes Wolfric right now.
Oh boy, this could be it right here. Phaenchantress has the Hunter of Champions on her, so her melee defense
Okay,
and speed is
regrowth
down.
On Wolfric, please. Regrowth on not Wolfric.
Gotrek.
Okay, Wolfric dead by Faye. There it is. I think she got the regrowth on Gotrek.
Oh boy, is that it? That might be it. Oh,
That might be it.
Wolfric
Wait,
is down to the
Fireball.
Fae.
Fireball is a spell that is good.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Oh, is Gotrek gonna get killed by Fireball, or is the Fireball gonna hit?
Gotrek.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh, he's
He
good.
juked it.
He's
He
good.
juked it.
What a scrap, man.
I gotta say, I'm rooting very heavily for Bretonnia, the comeback kid.
Maws of Savagery here. They're gonna take big hits from Gotrek.
Faye Enchantress is still huge, but it's all about if he.
Why
can get
is the balance of
fireball
power
off.
so? Is that just from the Famir? I guess at this point.
Fimir's big.
Nice little Earthblood there to counter the incoming Fireball. Knights coming back as well. There's a handful of knights still fighting there, which is there's literally one Grail Guardian still fighting.
I love it.
If that
I love it.
if that Werekin just Werekin rallies, okay.
Ooh, that's big.
Okay, Gotrek needs to find a tree and hug it for safety. I'm serious.
Yep.
Gotrek needs to find a tree and hug it for safety.
Yep. Just wait till the fireballs are gone.
Whoa! It broke for no reason.
Oh, you see, yeah. Just I guess because the Phaenchantress is close enough and just so badass.
Faye Enchantress was like balance
Oh,
of
it's gone. It's gone. Balance of power is now
balance of
even,
power
which is a
in
lie.
Bretonnia favor. Fireball's still trying to snipe Gotrek. He's at 200 health. Ah man, this is
Fistek attacking?
Technically, neither of them are attacking, but Fistek is now attacking, yes. And I believe he can cycle charge now.
With the Marauder Horseman?
Yeah, he can.
Can he, though, is the question, because the Guardians are going
Well,
to chase.
I was gonna say he can, he can, but cycle charging in general.
Yep, and they immediately rout.
Godric's dead. Okay. Now Fimir carry.
Yep.
Fimir should do no damage. Femir can't do much damage to.
Oh, he's dead.
Ooh, he
He's
did
dead.
kill Gotrek. He did kill
Gotrek is dead,
Gotrek.
of course.
But the Fanchantress has magic resistance. She can beat the Femir by herself.
Yeah. Hopefully. Fire Cloak. Those Grail Guardians are heroes in their own right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. They're all paladins now. they all get promoted to paladins after this.
The Fae and the boys.
Fae can cycle charge here.
Oh,
Good charge
Marauders.
bonus.
Ooh, this is kind of
I don't know. The horsemen on the rear charge. The Fanchantress
route.
drain hits them.
Mortis Engine activate. Oh god.
The Grail Guardians routing.
Oh no. No, Faye, I believe in you.
She needs a critical hit on the Femir. RNG of the gods, come on.
The Fae is just holding here.
The horsemen don't matter at all, it's just Faye just needs one critical hit.
The horsemen are gone soon, I think.
Femir can cycle charge now.
Oh, he just got staggered, though. Nice hit by the Fae. The Fae's getting hit a little bit by the horsemen, too, though.
Ooh.
I think they're wavering. Earthblood for the bounce of power.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yes. Yes. Woo, that was close. Wow.
It's all we
GG.
wanted.
Holy cow, that was close. And it could have been a little bit easier for Bretonnia, actually, had they brought a different build. But is that the new meta now? Is the meta Green Knight against Norska?
No. It's not. It's not.
Oh.
0 armor, getting fireball sniped.
Grail Guardians
Like
might
a
be
zero,
though.
though.
Oh, for
Grail
real?
Guardians. I think the Grail. Look at those Grail
Oh,
Guardians. They
72,
made an argument for
102?
themselves.
Yes, they did.
Like questing knights get pulled down by like Jav fire, wolves, everything. The Grail Knights don't have to worry about that. Physical resist, high armar.
Perfect
no
figure
worries.
too.
Yeah,
They-
true. Very
They
true.
become paladins in late game, apparently.
Wow. That was badass. They're just holding out to literally the last. Oh, that was wow. That was a game right there. That was a game.
That was so great. That was amazing.
And you saw what I mean by RNG of the gods. Did you
Mm-hmm.
see how quickly Wulfric was getting like knocked down from like double attack and triple attack from Green Knight and Gotrek? That's really what you want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta get those double hits, triple hits, just chew through his HP as quick as possible. Wild. Absolutely wild, man. Whew. I'm actually gonna go grab a drink water after that, because I'm sweating.
Ah,
I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves if you wish.
now I wonder what their game 3 is gonna look like.
I know.
Map is MP Alpine Ridge, so a little out of favor for artillery, some kind of artillery. I don't know. Tomb King's gonna be very nice on this map.
Okay, I'm returned,
Hey.
and these guys are still picking their factions for the next game.
Well, they need to check because so for Banner Rules, Arrow did implement the pick 3 ban 1 system, but for Ever Chosen, for some reason, it ended up being pick 3 no bans.
Yeah, that's what we had talked about. I don't know though. Arrows had some different ideas.
Well, just pick 3 no bans ends up being really unfavorable for the guy picking 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, people are just now figuring out the Fae and Gotrek Green Knight. Interestingly, I mean, it's a good combo. It's been good for a while. People just haven't really caught on to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit tricky to use in that Gotrek is slower than the Green Knight and the Fae, right? So you kind of have to be careful of positioning and making sure you don't get leave Gotrek behind. And yeah, it's a little wild, but it's very, very good. I mean, you got two unbreakable strong combatant heroes, and then one of the best casters in the game. Who also happens to be pretty decent in combat, especially on the charge.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not listening to the stream, so I don't actually know.
I'm typing and looking for things in the rules. Just a little happening.
Yeah, the pick 3 ban 1 I think was fine, but we talked about another system as well that I can't remember.
I know it's HW never moved on to that yet, so it's always slow to change.
Yeah, I've done for my Flash tournaments, I've done the tiebreaker games you just pick single ban rather than pick double ban. And yeah, I mean, I've had some pretty good success with that. I don't know though, I'm trying to remember. I'd have to go back and look at my recent tournaments and see if any of the last, final series went 5 games, because I don't know.
I think so. Here's the issue. It's oh, hold on. I need to do.
Or actually, no. Now that I'm thinking, the one I think it was you versus Ice Power in the final, right? Where that one went 5 games. Okay, that's one that happened. That I do remember. I've had it go 5 games a few times, and I guess if that's the goal, is just to get as many games as possible, or as many good games as possible, I guess. I don't know. It seemed to work out pretty well for me. I don't know. As a player, would you rather be in the position of picking because you get the initiative, or would you rather be in the position of counter-picking so that you get the choice?
Counter-picking, absolutely. Here's the thing. Pick 3, no bans. There are so many traps that you can put yourself in that, no. It's terrible. It is, as a player, I think I hate it.
Yeah, because you can pick a
so
triangle of
traps.
factions. Yeah, where
because the opponent, the counter picker, gets to ban one. If the counter picker didn't get to ban one, I'd say fine. But since they get to ban one, you can set yourself up for a dwarf trap. Is say I'm really good at artillery factions. I pick Empire, Coast, and Skaven. okay, ban fucking Skaven, pick dwarves, and die.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Later,
no,
Lux.
there are way too many possible traps with the pick 3 no bans.
Yeah, the pick 3 ban 1 I like, and you can even still, if you're good at a lot of different styles, you can still kind of set up this triangle where they, no matter what they ban, like, I don't know, they can pick and ban 1, but hopefully your other 2, like, have at least an even matchup. So, like, you look at, like, Empire, for example. Okay, Empire's bad against dwarfs, primarily, so I need a faction that's good at countering dwarfs. So I could go for, yeah, like you said, like Empire and Skaven. And then if I think to those two...
if it's pick 3 ban 1, I still want to be the counter picker because of the initiative, but it's just, like... It's just nicer to be on pick 3 ban 1. There are so many factions that you always want to be initiative with the counter picking.
Yeah.
Like, and that's only going to get more egregious with game 3.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Imagine 20 factions. We're gonna have to like rethink a lot of the pick bans, how it's done when game 3 comes out.
Yeah, probably have to increase the number of bans is the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe have like a banning round like they do in certain other RTS games. Like I was looking at some like Age of Empires stuff, and they have like a whole ban phase, right? Before you either player picks, like you go back and forth with a couple bans each.
Maybe that would be interesting. Yeah, it's a lot of things to consider.
Yeah, and the main thing too is like, I don't know, it depends on the tournament you're doing. Like, obviously for my Flash tournaments, 1 game series for the initial rounds. You're just in or you're out. Like that's it. And with that, like you pick a faction, use it the whole time.
With Flash tournaments, honestly, that can go very long with the final best of 5.
Yeah,
the last one.
Yeah, my tournament tomorrow, the qualifier is going to be 10 years.
Yeah, that's 100 people, GLHF.
Yeah, there's going to be some laggers for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be fine though. It's gonna be.
This is Tomb Kings ban High Elves is a correct pick.
Yeah, High Elves are definitely the best. You leave yourself open to Empire still, but I would absolutely pick Empire in this situation if I were Anticity.
Anticity doesn't have Empire though. He has Dwarves or Greenskins are his picks.
Oh, I didn't see the initial 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, in that case, dwarfs, you can... Yeah, that's hard. It's going to be hard because the Tomb Kings can overload targets like the Lizardmen can, in a way. It's not as efficient as the Lizardmen, but you can. But, yeah. What was the other one again? And Greenskins, that's right, yeah.
Dwarves versus Tomb Kings is dwarf favored.
Yeah.
Tomb Kings can do some things to punch up, but in general, I feel this is the first match where Anticity has the edge on the pick, because the last 2 games were, I think, in Fistek's favor. Now it's, I think, Anticity's game to lose.
Yeah, I guess at this point it all just depends now on army selection. Like, hopefully he doesn't do something dumb and bring, like, a bunch of fire drakes or something. Yeah, it should be good, though. I mean, Trollhammer
One thing
torpedoes.
Yeah, Trollhammer torpedoes. I keep forgetting to suggest / remind Arrow to slip the pick ban rules or just the system into the actual rule document itself, because when Turin says go look at the rules for the pick bans and you open the rule document,
Not actually there.
it's not in there. That's for army limits.
Yeah, you could.
That's actually a holdover from Warhammer Cup rules, where Warhammer Cup rules also had army limits and rules of play separated. Now with Banner, we have rules of play and army limits together. We just don't have the pick ban shenanigans, which was always a part of not army limits, part of rules of play.
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy to add to. I say it's easy. Arrow has to actually do the work, but it'd be pretty easy to add like a system where you just like say recommended pick ban system.
Just a page to solidify it, because what ends up happening is a lot of tournament hosts, like, they use banner rules.
Yes.
They have on their challenge pages, they have pick ban rules set there that don't get updated when Arrow updates that. And
yes, or like I'll use slightly different ones just to try them out, you know. Yeah, it's not really unified necessarily, but it'd be nice to have in there for newer people, you know, newer tournament hosts, just for myself too, because my potato brain often will forget, like, oh, what's the current pick ban system? Like, what are most people using?
Just make it easy to check in one place.
Yep. I haven't announced anything publicly yet, and I don't know how many people are going to see this stream, so I'll talk about it a little bit here, but I'm going to make an official announcement. In a few weeks, like once all the Ever-Chosen qualifier stuff is done, then I'm going to be hosting a fundraiser tournament, basically. And not necessarily fundraiser per se, but more of just like a thank you to Arrow, since we all use his rules. Like, it'd be cool to do something since he's put in so much time for free, and like I make money from my channel, right? Like, not that much, but it's a decent amount. Like, it's enough to pay for my internet bill and some other things, you know, new games and stuff, or computer upgrades or whatever else. And like I feel a little bit guilty sometimes that I'm like profiting off of his work and he's not making that much from it. So like, I don't know, I want to do something to give back a little bit, and I was thinking of doing a tournament to just raise some funds.
Yeah, we were talking in another chat earlier where if CA like actually gets a proper pro league with ECL, like in a pro gaming circuit, like the first person they should hire is Arrow.
Oh,
as,
absolutely.
like, a coordinator.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He could be the Turin could be the commissioner. Arrow would be like the head of the rules committee. And yeah, hopefully someday we have something like that. How cool would that be, man, to have Warhammer Pro League? We're not that far away, I think.
It would be useful. I think mainly, like, casual play needs to change and be updated.
Yes, you need to give...
Because casual play is always, like, the foundation.
Yes.
For,
exactly.
Pro play.
The grassroots is where it all starts. So to, like, and I've heard rumors about them, they've made some postings as well, like job postings, specifically about multiplayer stuff, for Total War, for their Total War team. So, like, the writing's on the wall. There's probably going to be some more focus on multiplayer in Game 3, and I just really hope that leads to a more vibrant pro scene. I mean, granted, even what it is right now, like, if you look at how much it's grown from Warhammer 1 until
what it is right now, it's
today,
pretty good, and yeah, you can see that you could call this the ground floor.
Yes.
For a legitimate system. Look at this deployment! Look at this!
Wow.
Look at this Iron Drake torpedo sandwich.
It's like a man standing with his arms to the side, T-posing.
It's a sandwich.
See, he's got his arms out.
Amazing.
Or maybe it's a helicopter. It's the gyro deployment. You see, he didn't bring any gyros, so he had to deploy in a gyrocopter. No fire drakes, travesty, Sarmation says. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. This is gonna be interesting. Double necrotects on chariots, solid pick.
That's good. I don't actually know about double scorpions.
No, scorpions aren't as good.
Scorpions are torpedo chow.
Yep. They're used to be very good, but since they nerfed their melee stats, they don't do as much damage. Seems like they just don't. Their DPS isn't as good. Aristo would be head of the map selection. No. Definitely not.
Was played in one of his map tournaments. No.
We would be playing on Grimmenhagen every time.
Yeah. Every final on Grimmenhagen. And own Grimmenhagen.
Or maybe Fall of Man.
I mean, yeah, I've seen, like, AEW has finals on Fall of Man. He likes the map. It's not the worst.
Is it actually balanced, though? Because I think the deployment zones now are where, like, you both start with the hill, basically. Like, you start, like, kind of perpendicular. I like some maps that are pretty asymmetric, but...
Let's see how Inticity plays with this advancement. He's kind of being forced to take a hill fight.
Yeah,
A bad hill fight.
I was memeing a little bit about the gyros thing, but it's the visibility problem is real too, and yeah, I think you're just gonna say like dwarves can't reposition to get visibilities. They're just gonna have to kind of react here, right?
Yeah, react, and also like undead are in position to take the hill. If Inticity pushes here, this looks good. This looks but he's a little. This is weird, but I think he should maybe be boxing more. He has some things out of position that can get...
Yep, chariots are going to come in. Trollhammers are not too far, though.
But they're shooting Archon. Need to... Oh, one of those Necrotechs are very out of position. But that's a good skeleton summon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you're like a little bit ahead of me. I need to refresh here.
Yeah, if he is not careful, he'll get pulled apart here.
Yeah, you gotta stay tight as the dwarfs.
Sun, beautiful sun, kill my enemy.
Oh boy, oh yeah, I see that opportunity there. Oh, that's nasty. That's like 4 dwarf units blobbed up.
Decent damage on the torpedoes, but I think the dwarf magic resist showing that they won't get taken down that easy.
Yeah, I don't know if that was an overcast sun. I don't think so. No, definitely not.
Connections on the Necrotechs, that's good.
Yep, solid hits there.
If the Tomb Scorpions just sit on the if they just sit on the torpedoes the whole time, there's a chance for them.
Yeah, yeah, that's like 2,000 gold though. I mean, granted, it's 1,800 gold worth of torpedoes, but still. Smoke bomb.
He's liking... This deck is liking the purple sun. That's interesting.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. That's what you want. That's what you want.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be juicy. Okay.
I think you're even further back than you were before.
Yeah, that refresh didn't help me at all. Dang it.
Oh, made it worse.
Come on, YouTube. Stop trolling me. It's probably because I'm also streaming.
Yeah, you want to stream and watch YouTube? Okay.
I'm actually at the same point as Dov, so not sure what's going on there.
Adris just has a really fast connection.
Peasants.
I don't know though, Tomb Kings, I mean, the skeleton support's already kind of starting to fall apart a little bit, and torpedoes have taken some damage, but they're also still able to fire? Not really, no, they're walking into combat. Okay, that's fine.
Maybe just going for point blank shot.
Grombrindle's smashing that Scorpion though.
I mean, Grombrindle is almost as threatening as a Gotrek in this scenario.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot that's gonna... Like, if he kills the Scorpions while he can, then Grombrindle becomes a terror in his own right.
Yep.
Okay,
one of the Necrotechs
point
is pretty low. The other one's... I don't know, he's almost running into the same issue as before, though, where he's, like, not focusing any one single entity enough.
Well, just by looking at the plays, it looks more like Fistek is really good at pulling out.
Yeah, that's fair. Fistek's managing the damage well.
Yeah, that's because dwarves don't really have anything to chase or block or catch or focus.
Yep.
Like they can only take the opportunities they're given.
Yep.
And that's always been the dwarf's weakness.
Speaking of which, Necrotech getting slammed by Grombrindle there.
Yeah, he's crumbling now.
Oh boy, it'll only take him another, minute and a half to die. Yeah. I mean, the Shopsy summon got some okay value, but because they were fighting on Dwarf Warriors the whole time, they didn't actually finish off those those torpedoes, and I think he can block these other skeletons now. Ooh, nice summon though. That was a really nice summon.
Just those scorpions just need to die. If the scorpions die, it's looking strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is gonna be rough.
One is almost crumbling. Wants to crumble. Now it's crumbling.
More purple sun coming.
Grombrindle's just fighting some skeletons right now. I don't know. Yeah, gotta chad through Gromby. I don't know. One of the torps is off now. That's not good. Another nice purple sun. Grombrindle has no fears been popped, but with the torps not being able to get back online, Ushopti summon fades though. That's big. They can now disengage from there.
Yep. Ushopti summon's gone. It's. Is there another Necrotect up for healing that?
I don't know.
I can't see it, so it might have died.
Yeah, one might have crumbled all the way. I think
Honestly, if there's like even four torpedoes shooting something near the end, that'll be good for dwarves. But this is looking good for Tomb Kings at the moment.
Yeah.
All their magic went to Purple Sun, but then again, they think they got good Purple Sun value.
Yep.
Yeah, taking out the Slayers. Pretty good. Pretty good value.
Scorpion's pulling
That was a
away. He's
premature
chasing one of the
Premature
torps.
smoke bomb.
Yeah, he's not in position to capitalize. And with the charge animation too, the Tomb Scorpion can just get away. I don't know, dwarfs are kind of reforming that back line a little bit. There's still a lot of Gaui infantry left, but yeah, the torps going down again. That other unit got routed. I don't know, because you really...
Okay, Turin just noticed that he missed the Necrotex going down.
Yeah.
It's all about the Tomb Scorpions.
Yep.
And for Tomb Kings, it's all about like routing enough so that the two Tomb Scorpions can get Gromby.
Yep. It's going to be hard to kill Gromby even still, but yeah, them plus Arcan all 3v1 will...
Yeah, he's ignoring Grombrindle and focusing on the infantry. This is correct.
Yeah, or rather, not ignoring him, but avoiding him as much as possible. While still also engaging. Although the one Scorpion's just kind of been chilling over there for a while. I don't know if he forgot about it or if he's just leaving it out on purpose.
No, he's leaving it out because he doesn't want like it to be caught, and he needs both. That's the thing. If one of the Tomb Scorpion dies, then the other one can die later to Grombrindle, and then Arcan's all alone.
Yeah.
Like he needs Arcan and the Tomb Scorpions. Everything else is okay, but he's going in. If there's a smoke bomb,
Should be off cooldown almost.
please. Just instant kill. Okay. Nah, got away.
Grab that Tomb Scorpion.
Slippery Tomb Scorpions. Oh well.
Oh, yeah. It is what it is. You can't really...
It's,
Oh, no.
yeah.
Did some torps come back? Oh, some torps came back. He led off of them. Why would you let off of them? I mean, granted, I think he can probably still route him again with those skeleton
he can
horsemen,
route him
but...
again.
Oh, Gromby got a hit on Arcan there.
Just one.
Just one lonely hit. I don't
It's
think he
that
can get
low
another.
health. Just, it's all about the Tomb Scorpions.
Yeah, I almost would have saved it for the Scorpions. Yeah, the horsemen were able to get through. A little bit of mispositioning by the Dwarf Warriors. I don't know if they would have stopped him anyway, but...
Infantry don't really hold back much these days.
Yeah, Dwarf Infantry, if they have all their models, has pretty good mass, but any infantry, if there's just a handful of models like that, they'll just get bowled.
Yeah.
Gromby's still so healthy, but yeah, you know in the late game it's going to be nasty with the Scorpions.
I think in this case, it's Fistek played well, pulling out the single entities when they were in danger.
Yeah.
And I say that like he brought the two Necrotechs that did get taken out, so
Yeah.
like at least he got his hits in. It's just Fistek avoided just enough damage.
Yep.
Damage control, he was really good.
The
this game.
initial like kind of blob and I mean, I guess that first Purple Sun wasn't that great, but the Purple Suns in general were being able to disrupt, even if you don't do that much damage, just throwing the dwarf formation kind of in disarray so that it takes longer for them to get back up and reposition. Like, yeah, being able to tie down the corpse and stuff, which just came back again. I think you could probably move in with the 3 single entities now and start fighting Gromby.
Yeah, it's a good time to delete him. Or you could, I don't know, extend his suffering like Arkin would.
Yeah, the 2 Scorpions plus Arkin will have a problem finishing him off.
This is a good time to roleplay.
Yes. Trying to get what? Yep, all those other units are gone. And here comes... Oh, is he just going to attack one at a time? I was going to say that. One Scorpion's like looking like he wants to come in, but... I don't know why Fistek's not just running in with everything.
Probably wants the Scorpions on fresh.
Maybe. I don't feel like it matters anymore,
Arkin
though.
with the much health going in. I think that's another premature flash bomb.
Yeah, could have waited until everything was in play, but it's not really going to matter.
Yeah, good games.
Good games.
That was great, yeah.
Very, very close series.
Looks like Grumbrindle knows some fear.
He does. Unfortunately, he is not unbreakable. Which seems a little bit odd to me, like that he himself is not unbreakable all the time. I think he would. Grumbrindle knows no fear, but yeah, good game. I think a gyro bomber would have, because he didn't have any carrion, right, at all? Like, no gyro counters, actually. So, yeah.
No gyro counters.
A bomber can delete a horse or footlord super fast if they get on them. Or even the Scorpions, too. Like, any of those single entities, that could have made the difference in damage.
That would be interesting, yeah.
Plus suppression, another speed debuff. Like, people forget that gyro bomber has suppression now.
It's taco time.
Bomb out all the skeletons, but yeah, it's taco time.
And I actually ran out of the white flour tortillas I used to make tacos like 2 days ago. I need to buy more.
He did have 1 or 2 carrions. Okay, yeah, I guess I must have missed them. Maybe they did. I did see them, and I actually talked about them. Just totally forgot, which is also possible.
Those carrions, like if it's like it would have to be a completely different dwarf build. But usually, if you bring a gyro, you also bring like 2 ranged units, or maybe even 1 fire thrower to peel off the harpies or carrion that get on them.
Yeah.
Which I love that, the taking flamethrowers to clean off harpies from a helicopter. That's amazing.
Oh, it's very, very awesome. Yeah, I wish the Iron Drakes were a little bit better. I wish flamethrower units in general were a little bit better, besides the Necrofex.
Honestly, they technically got the same explosion buff that everybody else did.
Yeah.
It's more about arcs of fire for them.
Yep, and the missile speed is also kind of weird, and even though it looks like it's a giant volley, the missiles themselves are actually pretty small. Like, it's hard for them to actually contact something fully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wish they were better, but it is what it is. Yeah, regular gyro bomber, and then I probably would have taken maybe like 1 thunderer even, because the missile speed of that is really good. Plus they can shoot, whatever armored units. Might be a little bit of a distraction piece as well. But yeah, I'm a big fan of gyros now. I mean, I was before, to be honest, but bombers, I think, are very underrated. Risky as hell, but very underrated. Do they actually have lower health than rail relics is the question, though. I'd have to check. I think
I
it's
think
one
you
of those.
did check. I think you did check already.
Did I in that video? I can't remember. I think it was, right?
Yeah, I think they do have less health than the Grail Relic.
Yeah, lowest health single entity unit in the game. Pretty tiny, very squishy, and like, if it weren't for the magic resistance, it would just die to Spirit Leech, but the magic resistance helps a bit. Fix Norska bans Counts and Coast. Interesting.
Yay, Taco isn't in meme mode.
That's good. Yeah, the Counts one makes sense to me to a level, but also, I don't know. Maybe I just feel less comfortable in other matchups with Norska. Like, I would probably ban...
Oh, Taco's comfortable with Norska for sure.
Yeah, I know he's a very strong Norska player, so... Counts can be tough for the melee rush factions, though, just because they kind of don't have a choice but to get ground down by them. Blood Knights also counter literally almost your entire faction, so okay, maybe I understand that. Fist Tech does go Empire, though, which is definitely what I would do.
Like
It
a
does.
well-executed Fimir blob can beat up Blood Knights, but yeah, it's tricky for Norska sometimes.
Yeah, because the Blood Knights have more mobility than you. If they get a good tie down, they can just cycle charge you. Mir can't catch them.
Dove, check your messages real quick.
Okay. Nice. Looking very nice.
Awesome.
Empire, okay.
Oh, are we gonna see them?
Yeah, I think so. This is a Elangui too. I mean, you don't really want to go with stationary ranged units as the Empire, like definitely wagons and or pistoliers.
I don't think it's going to be Hellblasters. I think it's going to be Huntsmen and Pistoliers, maybe 2 Pistoliers, 3 Huntsmen.
Yeah, Huntsmen, I guess, but I don't know. They're not as good against Fimir, and I think war wagons can be caught by Norska, but you can also use that to your advantage to kind of distract and block, so your knights can countercharge. I don't know though. We'll see. I also really like crossbowmen here because they're very cost effective at shooting everything.
Though, wouldn't you want to pay a little bit more for Huntsmen for more damage?
It's
Or
not.
is-
I mean, in practice, because it's Fimir, like I think crossbows do just as much to Fimir, maybe a little bit less, but again, it's just more cost effective.
Anti-large. Yeah, you pay a little bit less for crossbowmen if they do the same versus Fimir.
Yeah, and
Hunters are better versus mammoths, though.
yeah, that's true, and like Skinwolves probably as well, but I don't know. I like going with more of a cavalry focus, so I don't usually want to spend too much. That way, also, if I get outmobility'd by Norska and they get on my ranged units, I'm not losing as much, right? Like archers, they're just too inefficient. They just don't do enough here. Like crossbowmen are a pretty nice middle ground. I don't know though. Honestly, like I said, I tend not to take stationary missile units in this matchup because Norska is kind of like Beastmen, and some players will play this way in this matchup, which is pretty strong to go like very mobile with hounds and like some skinwolves, maybe the mist stalkers in a specific position, but usually you just go super wide with like lore of metal, like Sirtha X style, like javelins, hounds, maybe some chariots, basic marauders. In that case, then like there's no way you're gonna protect huntsmen and like even crossbowmen and stuff. So just take pistoliers so they can kite a little bit. You know, they might charge your wagons if you bring them, but then you can block it. Yeah, wagons are also pretty good against Fimir. Interesting matchup. I would say it's definitely a matchup that's even, like, depending on the players. I am Empire biased, so I perceive it as slightly Empire favored, but I don't know, I think it's... If you look at it objectively, it's probably basically even. Oh, there we go. Hey. Cool shout out for me.
GG.
Yeah, we've got the ever chosen tomorrow South Sea selection. Let me look. How many participants are there right now? Like 150? Just kidding. Oh, 97. Yeah, a lot of good players in here. Some names I don't recognize, but almost all of them is players I recognize.
Mm-hmm. Oh, will you be joining them, like in the grand finals and stuff, to commentate, or is
Yeah, I'm gonna be commentating from the quarterfinals on, so top 8.
Okay. Nice.
Top 8 out of 97. Oh man, this is gonna be wild. Be pure chaos. Right now, obviously, the bracket is not final, but if it were to start like Hadriz, I think you would play someone pretty good to start. I don't remember. I'm trying to look, but this bracket is so huge, it's hard to see anything.
Well, honestly, just randomize.
Yeah, I probably will. I don't know. The seeding system on Challenge works okay if everyone hosts on the same community, but because a lot of people host on their own things, like, I don't know, me and Arrow have been hosting on this YouTuber community, so it has some, like, aggregate scores that you can use for seeding, but I'll probably just randomize it anyway. Let's see what they got. Okay, Mammoth Famir makes sense. Shadow Balefiend plus Wolfric is super strong. Flagellants, Sigmar's Sons, Spearmen. He did take 2 Huntsmen. Halberds, a bunch of Knights, Blazing Sun probably. Lifecaster? Hey, what's up, Wicked? You're free to jump in if you would like. You are an approved.
So I'm looking for. I'm doing some rule stuff and looking for something for turn.
Okay. Yeah, Knight's Blazing Sun, no Kindle Flame procs, but even just as it is, the magic resistance plus fire plus high charge, like all of those traits are good here.
How much magic resistance do they have?
25%, I want to say. So it's pretty
So
good.
about the same as dwarves, don't they have 25 too?
Yes, I believe so, yep.
That's tanky.
It's pretty good. I mean, their melee defense is kind of low, and they have less armor than even Empire Knights. They only have 100 armor, which is the lowest of any Empire heavy cav, but they are also faster, and they have the highest charge, too. Almost 80 charge, which is, like, on par with Dragon Princes. We just had this Med 2 soundtrack on repeat the whole time, so I'm going to switch it up. Some Skyrim music, because that's definitely less appropriate.
Nice.
Hey, what's up, Zach? Good to see you. Joining us now for the grand final.
The grand of the finals.
Yes, the grandest of finals. Doing a little scouting here with Carl. And, oh, this music is too chill, though. That's the problem with this.
This dude just comments Norska will win. That's... Oh my god.
Let's see what he can do. Some quick hit and run charges on the Marauders might not be a bad idea just to thin them out a little bit, but obviously you don't want to get the Knights to take too much damage.
It's a lot of Marauder horsemen flying in the flank there, but
He's got the tools to deal with it. Flagellant's getting a nice clean engagement there.
Hunt's been doing some decent poke on Wolfric.
Definitely. I think that boat, was that a full miss? I didn't see where that contacted, if it contacted anything at all. But, Carl gets the debuff, then the Knights charge in. They're going to do some good damage, but... Ooh, here comes a Penumbral Pendulum on them. Marauder Spearmen? Why would you take Marauder Spearmen? They're so bad. Ooh, this is going to be bad, though, if he takes a counter charge from Mir. Despite the magic resistance, yeah, pull away there. Not too much damage. Yeah, come on in, Zach.
Carl is doing a lot of work.
Just pop into any voice channel on my Discord and I'll beam you up. Oh yeah, Wolfric's getting smashed here by Carl. That is big. Fistek needs to get him out of there.
Yeah, the Huntsman plus Carl.
Oh yeah, the Huntsman plus Carl. Yeah, Sigma wills it.
This is kind of why I did mention Huntsman, and yeah, this is kind of what they do.
Yep.
They won't beat the Fimir, but you know who does beat Fimir?
Carl.
Carlito Francois.
Oh yeah.
The man with the plan.
He is Prince and Emperor. How many Prince and Emperors do you know?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair.
You know some princes, you know some emperors. Not a lot of Prince and Emperors.
Yep. And not only that, but he was in fact elected by the Tanistry elective of the Empire of Man, right? So it's not even a succession-type government. I mean, no, you can't go
he
wrong.
Earned that shit.
Yeah, he had to pay probably some prestige to unlock that, if I had to guess.
Bribes.
The Melkos there on the Knights of Blazing Sun. Those Knights of Blazing Sun actually are getting routed. And Fistek's, I mean, we're saying this is GG. Fistek's clawing back here pretty well. Got some good engagements on the Knights.
Yeah,
Carl,
Wolfric's back too.
I don't know, Carl, you're going to take the charge from Wolfric.
By the way, Fistek is Empire.
Oh, duh. Yeah. What am I saying?
Oh no, Carl's gonna get gooned out here.
Oh yeah, no. Now
he got regrowth. He will be back if he's allowed.
Yeah, if he gets back in the air, which it doesn't look great right now. The dogs will keep him on the ground at this point. I think Taco might have saved it right there.
There might be enough ground game left for Empire. Like those huntsmen just need to turn on Wolfric
and they are.
Yep.
And he needs to.
I mean, they're swamping Carl.
Yeah, the Knights are also coming to charge out the Horsemen and the Hounds.
They don't need to escort. They need to escort him off. Like
Carl, even with him gone, it's going to be tough. You're right.
Let me show you the way out. Yeah, even with him gone, it's going to be tough. I mean, Wolfric has some long-range boats, but the infantry game is.
Yeah, why would you take Marauder Spears? They're such a bad unit. That's painful for me.
You might be right on that. You might be right on the Spears.
Even in the campaign, they don't do much.
Yeah.
Carl could come back here. Even if Carl doesn't come back, it'll be...
he's now getting the Knights separated, though. Like, Fistek is overextending with the Knights trying to bail Carl out, which I totally understand. That's the right call. Yeah. But he's also now getting them separated from all of his infantry, which is exactly what Taco needs, is to take out all these Knights piecemeal, which he now has done. 2 Knight units. One of them's routed, the other one's wavering. Those Famir can just turn around and smash them in the face. I mean, Empire infantry force is all still there, but... I don't know
so much the Empire infantry can do against a mammoth and the Famir.
Yeah, the Huntsmen have enough ammo to kill Wolfric for sure, but I don't think that...
Doggy escort.
Yeah, the dogs, plus I think the Famir also are going to be too much at this point. Carl's just getting all the way chased off.
Carl, the way units route in this game is terrible. Like, Carl is turning.
Yep.
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah, the older Total Wars did it kind of better.
Routing back into the battle. Look at this.
Yep, he's going to stay on. But the thing is, though, the Hounds will chase him to the end of days. Doesn't matter.
Until death. Hopefully, yeah.
Like, he's too slow to get up in the air. They're fast enough on the ground. And it's the anti-large Hounds, too, right? So they're actually doing damage to him. Forming up again for another engagement. The Shadow Famir being here is huge as well, because that means he can throw more boats and pendulums.
Pendulum and boat. I mean, On paper, Pendulum and Boat deletes the rest of the Empire army.
Yes,
You
on
just
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he can keep interrupting the archers from shooting him to get good engagement.
Oh, my Carl.
My Carl.
My Carl.
That's... Yeah. I love Carl. The new hit series.
Everybody loves Carl. Oh, yeah.
I am broken and shattered.
Yeah, Marauder Spears are the ultimate attempt to assert dominance. Yeah, it's probably a bigger play than bringing, I don't know, Marauder Champ Great Weapons, I would say. And he is fulfilling the attacking rule the whole time he's chasing Carl, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, oh, we almost got away. Almost got away.
I say.
Taking those Huntsman shots on the Famir is bad, but you see how little damage that's actually doing?
Yeah.
Old warhands.
Nice. The ice dogs actually do count as large, so they'll get killed by the halberds right there, probably.
It would be... I don't know, it would be kind of cheesy, but I might have waited for the hounds to finish off Carl.
Yeah, well, and Fistek has to be attacking you the whole time anyway, so you can kind of be pulling him away. I don't know about charging into the halberds.
Yeah. Hey, halberds are useful! Look!
Oh, they're doing something. He is coming in a little late with the horsemen. Wolfric, boat, anytime, you're about to get mowed down by huntsmen.
This map is just derping out right now.
He's tired.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, actually. Can the Famir finish this?
They're all way too low health. I mean, did Carl die yet? Like,
Not yet.
He needs... Taco needs a chain route.
Yeah, he needed to bring all his forces at the same time. Right now they're going, like, kind of piecemeal.
I mean, he's looking close to it. I think Carl may have died somewhere off screen.
Yeah, well, and getting this caster would be a big deal. That will finish off some more leadership. Nice, that's what you need to do. Get a monster blob.
He's trying. This is... Oh,
wait. Halberds are routed. That's great. Going for those other
Pendulum
huntsmen.
Maybe didn't get where it needs, but this is good. This is good.
Got some of the Sigmar Sons.
Slowly
Yes,
back.
the huntsmen are now terrified.
He got one huntsman off. This is looking good. Now just get those hounds
Zach,
on the
let me beam you up. That's my bad. Totally forgot to beam you up. Just hang out in one of the other rooms, and I'll get you in.
Get those hounds on the hunters, and once the hunters die, Wolfric is at 1,000 HP, and he is staying there.
Yep.
God, that... Like... Carl died, I think, Carl died right at the perfect time for that chain route, and this is exactly what he needed.
That was close, though. Man, Carl almost got the goons.
Oh, super GG.
Very good game. Very good game. Hey, what's up?
Beam me up, Scotty.
Welcome, Zach.
Greetings.
Oh,
what a first game.
Right? Oh, this is
Yeah,
going
it
to
was
be a
great.
series if that's anything to go by.
That was impressive.
Yeah, Fistek. I honestly think what lost him was, like, I get trying to bail Carl out, but you need to keep those knights with the rest of your formation. I think if he had done that, he might have been able to win at the end. I don't know. It's a big maybe. Still would have been tough, but that's very close. 155 kills on Wolfric.
Yeah, 80 on the Fimir.
Yeah, 80 on the Famir, 110 for the Sigmar Sons, like 97, 85 for the Flagellants. I like the
And those
Flagellants.
It was going alright for the Empire, and then Carl charged into Wolfric by himself, and then that's when everything...
Yeah, that point where they were both, like, Carl was countercharging him on the ground, you don't want to do that, because that allows Wolfric to get his charge bonus on you, which Wolfric has, like, 70-something charge bonus. One of the best things about flying lords is that you can charge your opponent without getting charged, right? By flying down from the air and charging to the ground. So what he should have done there is peel out, get back up in the air, and then, like, side or rear charge Wolfric. maybe that would have worked. But yeah, it was a very back and forth game. It looked like Wolfric was just going to die immediately, but credit to Taco keeping him alive there.
No extinction for this mammoth.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. See what they do next. It's River Amexon, classic map.
Ah, yes, that's the thing that the newcomers on in my training sessions, they always ask to go on that map. At least whenever Amiga drives on it.
Yeah, it's a fun map. It's interesting. You don't have too much terrain, but you do have kind of the two forests there. You also start relatively close to each other, and then there's kind of that cliff area over on the right side where you're not technically allowed to camp over there, but you can, like, you know, play over there with mobile units, and especially like using that hill and forest to kind of maneuver around if somebody's set up in the open ground with artillery. Yeah, it's a fun map. I like it. I like maps that have this kind of mix of different terrain, but that's still well balanced. Oh. Ooh, man. Let me get Turin's chat up also. Haven't really been watching it this whole time, to be honest. It's probably just fine.
Yeah, the chat's going a little bit crazy. Mostly some stuff against... There's a bit of discussion about Fistek, apparently. Apparently there's some sort of a... Darkon saying that he's known for bringing the cheese occasionally. I cannot comment on that, I've never met him.
Yeah, I mean... The...
Sure.
Yeah, the builds I've seen, I will say he has a certain play style that rubs some people the wrong way, and especially playing a lot of undead. That's, you know, obviously I'm not a fan of that, but I mean, if you're playing within the rules, then you're playing within the rules, even if it is degenerate, you know?
Yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Like,
So it's kind of... Oh, sorry, carry on.
I was just gonna say, like, it's kind of like with Lotus Moon. Like, I no disrespect to Lotus Moon, of course. I'm totally fine with him, but a lot of people don't like his play style, and so, you know, that's just, it is what it is.
I was just about to say, so it's a bit like the Lotus Moon situation.
Yeah.
So, although from what I've seen of Lotus Moon lately, he seems to have diversified his playstyle a bit in recent years.
On his streams, he does like whatever he feels like, especially when he's drunk.
Yeah.
But in tournaments, like when you have a reputation for kiting, that does give you an edge when you go, okay, so I'm just not gonna kite and like prepare for the anti-kite.
Yeah.
It's perfectly valid. So Lotus Moon can use his reputation to his advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I can see that.
And I've seen him, like, even in the past, to play other styles. Like, he's known kind of for kiting, but he can play other styles well also. And so, yeah, like I just said, it's almost like a weapon that he uses.
Oh yeah, I'm aware of that. I remember there was one very, very entertaining battle that I think Indie Pride casted quite a few months back. It was between Lotus Moon and Eracrastic, where Lotus was Empire and Eracrastic was Greenskins. One of the best fights that came out this year, but Lotus Moon was not bringing his usual tons of cavalry, tons of skirmish cavalry game. It was a well-rounded Empire build that even had a steam tank in it.
Yeah, very nice. I'm a big fan. I know, and the interesting thing too is, like, Lotus and I have some similar outlooks on certain things, even though I might disagree with him sometimes. I mean, that's just being human, right? It's still respect the guy, but, like, especially his views on matchups and factions, like, he's very much of the opinion that there are unfavorable matchups, but there are no unwinnable matchups. Like, even Dwarfs into Skaven.
A lot of pro players are of that opinion, I think.
Yeah, and I think you kind of have to have that opinion to get to that level, and to just realize, like, yes, in the pick and ban system, if you can avoid taking those matchups, you should, but also you should also prepare for them, right? Like, have builds in mind and practice the matchup. Yeah. So if you do run into it, then maybe you have something up your sleeve. Or, you know, if you find something that you think is particularly strong, then you may even like trap someone into counterpicking you, you know, like Skaven into dwarfs, which is the example I always use because it's the most egregious right now.
In the favor of Skaven, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can
Oh,
do
yeah.
whatever you want almost as Skaven. Not quite, but pretty close.
Well, let's think what they've got that make the dwarves cry into their beards. They have the Doom Flayers, obviously.
Yes.
The Doom Wheels. I
Yes.
can't imagine they're fun. Poison Wind Mortars, because Poison Wind Mortars.
Yep.
And more infantry than... they'll probably have more infantry in the front line than the dwarfs will probably have in their entire army.
Yeah, and also Death Runners are a nightmare. Snitch will kill literally all of your lords. So will Queek, I think, too, actually. Maybe Queek won't kill Grombrindle, actually. And maybe Grombrindle... No, I feel like I've played Grombrindle versus Snitch before, and Snitch wins just because you can, like, cycle charge him.
It's specifically... So, thing is, Snitch will lose, like, a proper duel, but Snitch cheats.
Yes.
So... Like he
And that's
always
the Skaven.
yeah, Snitch always has an assassin buddy with him. That in all my games, like that I use Deathmaster, everybody's like Deathmaster's so great. He's but his assassin buddy helps a lot.
Yep.
And it's because the debuff stacking and the charge from behind, double teaming, and then getting right back out. That's no Footlord can actually survive that.
Yeah, even Sigvald or Vlad. I mean, Vlad probably has the best chance of surviving that. Also
Vlad
because
has
he can
a chance,
summon
yeah.
and like get zombies to help take the hits for him.
Although if
Heck.
if the vampire account player cheaps out and doesn't take the word save item, or if they don't notice that Vlad is about to get gooned,
Yeah.
he can die faster than the player notices.
Yep.
I always get gooned.
Lovely.
Snitch is nasty. He's very strong. And the Master Assassin's not a slouch either. People kind of forget about him, but he's very good also.
Anytime I see Snickage on the screen, I just cry.
Yeah. That's the thing, is you don't even see him until
Yeah,
your lord's dead. So,
eventually, when you see...
yeah, when you see him when your lord's dying, you're like, then that's when you cry. Exactly. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's when I encounter him.
He does die very fast to fireball, though.
You can't fireball them if you can't see them.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
You can't net them if you can't see them. You can't do anything.
That's the other thing with so Spirit Leech does counter Snitch on paper, but there's other shit going on, and you won't always be seeing Snitch when you're ready to cast. So
Yeah. Yeah, or he might be in a blob of troops where he's obstructed, or might be standing in the middle of a bunch of rat ogres, so it just hits one of the rat ogres anyway.
Right. Yeah.
He's a very small target, so it's hard to hit him.
That's a thing that all Skaven lords have, apart from Greyseers on the bells and Ikit Claw when he's riding around in his Doom Wheel, actually, I think.
Yeah, even the tricycle is very, very small hitbox. And everyone forgets the Warlord even has a mount, but that's because he's useless, so... Bonebreaker, you just don't see it because it's terrible. But probably one of the worst monsters in the game, sadly. I wish it was good, but it's just not.
It has the potential to be good. If they just did some changes, some tweaks, it could be good.
Yeah.
It could really be a tanky little piece of shit. I would hate it, but it would be good.
Here's an idea. What if, maybe for the future with Skaven, they upgraded the Bonebreaker, or gave you different mount options for the Bonebreaker, so that you could give it some of the weapons that the Storm Fiends had during the end times. So instead of just those generic drill fists, maybe it had sensor power fists and stuff like that, or could have warp fire throws to give it a missile attack.
Yes.
That is what they need, kinda. They need those extra options. Because you can skimp out of taking a Magic Lord and get a Warlord and then focus somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, And that's one thing the Skaven do not have, is that, actually, the Skaven don't have much in the way of monsters. They've only got one, don't they?
Well,
Hellpit
Hellpit,
formations.
Doomwheel kind of counts as a monster too.
Red
does-
Ogres is
I
just
guess.
monsters.
Causes terror. It's more mobile. It's not very tanky, but it's kind of like a mobile support monster, almost more like you would use a Medusa, in a way.
It's more like a heavily armored chariot.
Yes.
It's kind of like a melee-focused steam tank.
Yep, and because it's one of your few mobile units as well, like you can end up using it like with rat ogres and stuff, like kind of disrupting, like chasing, you know. And yeah, I would classify it as monster. I would also classify the Bell and the Plague Furnace, even though they don't cause terror, they are still functionally like giant single entities that are very impactful. So yeah, I mean you kind of do. It's just not in the traditional sense, right? Kind of like
Yeah, I
with
suppose.
Empire, like you have, you know, griffins and steam tanks. Like maybe you make an argument that the Luminarch is also a monster. Volkmar is absolutely a monster. But
In
speaking of
every
which,
sense of the word.
Volkmar
Yeah.
here for Taco, good pick. I've seen this double crab coast rush as Empire before, and it's pretty good. But you do have tools.
Is that Silostra?
Yes.
Is that Silostra?
Yes. Silostra is an interesting pick, and I think it's maybe not super competitive. Like, Luther, I think, is just better, but it's not bad. She's just not going to kill Volkmar as well as Luther will. And also,
Oh, yeah.
her damn Knights Errant get hard countered by Volkmar.
Like this. Yeah, look about what's going to happen in a bit. Those sirens are going to be in for a very bad day if he's not careful.
Oh, yeah, there's the light. Oh, and
There we
they're
go.
gone. Mostly.
No. Oh dear. Oh boy. Rip.
It does look like you
And
got,
no
a
net.
crab summon up in the back line. Volkmar also...
Oh wait, there is. I think there is a caster. There's a vampire caster.
Yeah, there's got to be as well. You have to have one. But yeah, the crab summon's good. Volkmar needs to push back and hit the knights with his chariot, because he does magic damage with his chariot, and he'll just run over them for the most part. But right now, Huntsman being taunted, he's definitely putting a lot of resources into killing the Huntsman, which makes sense. They're a major threat to the crabs, and even you don't necessarily have to kill all of them. You just kill enough models that they can't do enough damage to the crabs. But Mini Boris is coming in with the Manticore. Who's his lord, by the way? Marcus? I didn't even pay attention. Oh, it's Volkmar. Duh. I've been saying this whole time.
Yeah, it's been going for a while now.
Major
Volkmar,
brain
you're
fart.
insane.
But yeah, Silostra, this is the thing about taking your crab, is the crabs are going to get focused anyway, so do you really want to tie your lord to it? You know? And so that's the issue now Silostra's running into.
Well, the benefit of Silostra is it's the Beastmen thing of, look at all my summons.
Yes, that's true.
I just summoned an extra army, an extra half army. Like, enjoy.
Yeah, value-wise, that's true. Although, Noctilus, like, just the volume of zombie summons,
Noctilus is very much the same. With Silostra, it's crabs and
Knights. Yeah.
knights, which... Like, against Empires, the Silostra summons are better, but I agree, Noctilus is always more survivable.
Yep. And I would say from an Empire main's perspective as well, like, I probably would not take Silostra because the Knights specifically have a lot of very clear counters here. So, like, you're really mostly... he did get some value from them here, but primarily the crabs are going to be the better, you know, value pick.
Yeah.
And in that case, like, I would think just more zombies to tie down Empire ranged units.
Yeah. This is looking good for Empire, though.
Yeah, Silostra's almost gone. She's chasing the handguns. Nice Flock of Doom.
He needs to get the Banshees.
Yeah.
Yep, and there's a lot of
Losing
Huntsmen you can
Sterling's
see
revenge
coming
is
back on the
big.
side there, and some healthy Knights still, so...
Yeah.
Empire
remember-
Captain on foot, too, has been doing some good damage. Sorry, I don't mean to step on you, but just...
No, I do remember there was a time once where, I think at the very beginning when the Vampire Coast was announced and people were playing the first 2 games with them, Luthor Harkon was acknowledged as extremely powerful, but then the focus for him shifted and it was Noctilus all day, every day until the summons nerf.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also a bit of dabbling around exploring the potential of Silostra and even Aranessa, and Luthor just sort of fell by the wayside for a little while, I think. But
Yeah.
now, of course, he's
now
back in full force.
he's back in King, yeah.
Yeah.
Aranessa is probably my favorite, just because
She's not
I can
undead.
well, no, because she's a fast-ish
Oh,
foot
dear.
character who's a good duelist with a net, so I can pretend she's like a snitch.
Yeah, almost like a discount, snitch that
Or a melee wolf
isn't
heart.
unbreakable because she's not undead.
Or a melee wolf heart.
Yes. And speaking of Wolfheart, he's pretty good in this matchup, but I get why Taco elected not to bring him here.
Wolfheart, I think, is like the crabs kind of counter Wolfheart, I think, just because
Yeah, exactly.
that's a lot of health for him to pew through.
Yep, exactly.
Hmm.
I know from personal experience, one of the longest games I ever played was against
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one.
cycle
Was that the
charging
one where...
with Marcus in melee. Yes, at the end, I was cycle charging Noctilus with Marcus.
Oh, God. Oh,
Thinking
God.
it's gonna end with Volkmar in melee, because so the vampire caster is still up. Like
That's significant.
Yep. The captain
It's significant.
is also getting crushed right now by the crab. The nice thing about the captain the whole time is he's been able to just chew the crab's HP for free, basically, by sitting on top of infantry, because he's low threat for them. They won't hit him. This is good. Free company now, able to get some solid shots.
I'm surprised he managed to
Those are the
still have them up at this point.
Yeah.
those are the Sterling's Revenge, aren't they? They do AP shots.
Yes.
They're
Yep.
AP shots. They're more resilient, so you don't have to be worried when a cheap summon gets dropped on them. I like them a lot in undead matchups.
Yep. Free company in
So
general, I would say, are pretty good against. Coast does outrange them to standard, so this one is probably the main one I would take. I don't know that I would take regular free company too often against Coast, unless you want to all Vanguard, which I have done. That was actually that
Crab's going
game.
down.
But yeah, the
Crab's about to fall.
against Tomb King summons, if you think your opponent's going to bring Arcan, and just in general against Tomb Kings, because they'll fight skeletons just fine. They'll shoot them also. And yeah, I think this is it. I think Empire's got it.
The heck on the crab that's crumbling. Who could have seen that coming?
Help us.
Oh, Volkmar's smashing the vampire caster with his chair.
And then see what they can do here. The crabs are just they're getting chipped down.
Yep. Yeah, there's no support units for them, basically, right? Oh, the summons.
Yeah.
The summons are.
Everything else is gone.
Yeah, it's gone. The summons have been used already. There's no magic left for anything else. I think he probably only used one crab summon.
And no extra units of Ghost Knights. Oh wait, there is a unit of Sirens.
Yeah, they've been chasing the captain, which was probably a mistake.
The sirens are kind of big.
Kind of. I mean, Volkmar can
To
run
be
them over.
frank,
Crab's about to go.
crab dead. That's good.
Yes. Yep.
I really can't see what the Vampire Coast can do here, to be honest. Volkmar will just ruffle stomp over the Sirens, and the crabs will could go down to anything.
RNG of the Gods 2v1 Redux Edition.
Volkmar's not.
If Volkmar takes the fight, where he's getting attacked from front and back,
That could happen.
He almost had it happen right there, but he was able to get away.
Yeah, we've seen that happen today before.
Yes.
So.
I mean, Volkmar is a bit like Sartoriel. He's just able to slip out of any engagement.
Yep.
Yes.
And the stacking resistances is definitely a thing too. If he has Hammer of Sigmar active, even this round won't be able to kill him fast enough.
It's part of being kind of a ghetto chariot. Sartorial too. In general, a lot of players consider Sartorial as kind of a chariot without being a chariot.
Yeah, a chariot that can get knocked over.
Yeah, chariot on legs.
He will get staggered and knocked over by cannonballs, but he'll be fine.
Yeah. And down they go. Timber.
Ooh, good win by Taco there.
Very impressive.
It's a good matchup for Empire. So far he's gotten pretty good matchups.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it was over at that point.
Okay, Taco, finish him.
This is it. Go for the throat.
Go for the jugular.
Actually, no, Taco, take the Dread Saurian. It's time.
full
You
meme.
can afford to lose a game. It's time for the Dread Saurian
Can you
to
though?
rise. No. No mercy.
Yeah.
Like that one,
Yeah.
the army, the battle looked close, but in fact, I don't think it was necessarily like close.
I think it was actually close.
I don't know. It
I
was.
think if Volkmar got at any point, it would be over.
Yeah, that's true for sure. But I don't think there was like he took damage, but I think Taco was pretty aware of him the whole time. Like I don't think he was ever necessarily at risk of getting got.
One thing I want to know is because Volkmar is so dangerous for certain units in the, how would you say, the sort of the, within the, not just when he's in and amongst them, but whenever he's in the immediate area of them, would you say maybe it's just better on some ways to just avoid Volkmar until you've killed off everything or chased off everything else and then pounce on him?
Yes, that's the way, and I wouldn't say necessarily ignore him because you still need to manage him. Like, don't let your
Contain him.
Yeah, contain him. That's a good way of putting it. Exactly. Yeah, just try and prevent him from doing too much damage to you, while also not committing too many resources to actually try and kill him, and just sweep the whole army as quick as you can. There are times where you can, if you have the right tools, snipe him, but it's very difficult. Like, only a handful of factions can even do it. And even, like, the top tier, like we were talking about, Snikch, like, Snikch will actually take a lot of damage from Volkmar in melee, and his snare is not long enough, not even close, for him to kill Volkmar. So, like, you got to be very careful about trying to snipe.
You don't want to send Snitch against Volkmar.
No.
In general, actually, you don't want to send Snitch against large units if you can help it.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there's a... I like this banner.
Oh, yeah. Gotta get the plaque of Sotek.
Tehenoin approved.
I like the way he did the sponsorships too, like displayed on the plaque. That's clever. Very clever.
The Fagil.
Okay, Taco. I think Taco has played this matchup a lot, like
Yes.
a lot.
Yes.
So this is kind of his preferred setting.
This is a pretty common matchup because
Yeah,
both sides have good stuff, right? Like Norska's great at hunting monsters, but also lizards have the best monsters in the game. I would argue that Norska maybe has the second best monsters. There's an argument maybe for vampires, but we won't go there because vampires are terrible. But yeah, the monster hunting versus the best monsters, but also like very cost-effective armor-piercing cavalry. A lot of people forget about the Lizardmen are actually one of the best cav factions in the game, believe it or not, because of Cold One Riders at 850.
Well, there's some cost-effective elements, but the problem with all Lizardmen cav is that they cannot grind.
Right.
None of them can grind.
Right. They're great for just overloading targets, basically, right?
Yeah, they're great for overloading targets, and that is something that Taco likes to do. It's possible we see that, I don't know, with Norska, you want to watch out for throwing axes, you want to watch out for jav play. Again, I feel like, with Norska, if you are comfortable in the matchup, which I know Taco is here, I think you can win. You can just take what you know and play well, and you'll win because you know what Norska's taking.
Yes.
They don't have a lot of options. They're very strong, but not a lot of options.
Yep. And Lizardmen have some very strong kind of basic builds too.
Yeah, and Lizardmen is with all the DLC they have options.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of DLC, what sort of things could they add to the Norska roster? In terms of things that they could either need, or in terms of things that could theoretically be added to the roster? Because I'm honestly stuck for ideas.
I mean, there's stuff I'm sure from the Monstrous Arcanum. I'm not super familiar with that, but I know the Monstrous Arcanum.
Add more feral stuff.
Yeah, more feral stuff. Also,
so depending on what they do with Chaos, they could maybe Norska could get some demon variants.
Yeah, like a
Maybe.
handful. Also, implementing the caster lords that are campaign only would go a huge way, because right now, one of their biggest issues with their roster is they only have 3 lords, 2 legendary lords, and one generic lord type. One.
Yeah,
I would say,
that's far
actually,
too few.
anything you could add would be lords. More lords.
I mean, in theory, like, Norska should be a sub-faction of Chaos, but Chaos is so, like, bare bones themselves, it's like, well, what are you gonna do?
I'd say that Chaos, the two are distinct enough that they don't have to be sub-factions. Because I'd say that Chaos, the Warriors of Chaos represent the mortal followers of Chaos more than anything, whereas Norska represents the actual people of Norska.
Yeah, the tribes
and the
themselves.
two are not the
tribes,
two are
yeah.
not the same. Yeah, the two are not identical. Obviously, a lot of Warriors of Chaos are from Norska, but the Warriors of Chaos are not really a nation or a people. They're basically just a heavily armed suicide cult of demon worshippers, and they can come from all over the Warhammer world. So you have the nations that.
Yep,
They exactly. They will have. The nations and human factions and human groups that are most associated with Chaos include obviously Norska, but also the Kurgan, the Hun, the what else is there? There's a few others native to Northern Nagaroth as well.
Which are represented right now in game. It's just more Norskins. I do hope I don't know if they will do this in Game 3, but it'd be cool to get, like, maybe a Hung DLC, or I can't believe I just said that, but...
Yeah, you want that Hung DLC.
That's gonna get clipped. But yeah, like, like a Kurgan DLC, right? And I think some of the Kurgans also ally with Kislev, though. It's like they're not necessarily all Chaos Worshippers, like, if I remember right. I could be wrong about that.
I think the things you're thinking of are the Ungols.
That's right, the Ungols.
I think they're from a similar ethnic group to the Kurgan, but they inhabit northern Kislev and were the original people who lived in Kislev before the people from the more northerly parts of the empire, such as, what do they call it? I think it's sort of Ostland and, what's the other more northerly empire provinces? Northeastern.
Like Hochland, like...
Hochland, Ostermark, I think is another one.
Yeah.
And those places, the people who lived sort of around there, this was before the formation of the empire, or when it was in its very early stages, they moved north and basically kind of, in a parallel to the real world history of Russia, they basically fought the native Ungols and were able to, and currently the Ungols basically live on a sort of they're kind of like a mixture between, they're kind of a vassal ethnic group, if you would. They live under the
like Cossacks in a way.
It's exactly like the Cossacks. It's no different to that. It's a parallel to that. So you have I think they call them the Gospodars, the actual European Russian equivalents in Kislev, and they rule over the Ungols.
Yeah, I'm excited, honestly. I really hope Kislev gets in for Game 3. I couldn't see them not doing it because everyone's been asking for literally since they released Warhammer 1, right? Like, Kislev when? So I can't see them not doing Kislev, but I'm very interested to see if it gets in, how it turns out.
Yeah, it's Kislev. I'd be, if they could add in Norska and the Vampire Coast, there is no reason why they couldn't add Kislev.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh no, Kislev I think is going to be a main faction in Game 3.
Yeah, I would agree with that because there's not really a quote-unquote order faction.
For End Times happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no quote-unquote order faction for that geographic area besides Kislev, right? So
not an equivalent, no.
Unless they are going to go all the way to the Far East and bring in some of the Eastern human factions, which, by the way, I would be super down for.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to a Cathay DLC, yeah.
I would love that.
Ind, Nippon.
Yeah, dude, Nippon, like samurai fighting chaos demons, please. That sounds so badass.
Don't leave out Ind. They have the sheer amount of the land of 1,000 gods, the sheer amount of lore things and tidbits hidden away for Ind, the possibilities are absolutely endless there.
Yeah. And there's even some other kind of weird sub-faction stuff, like the Snake Men of Karesh, I think Hotek was telling me about them. Like,
Birdmen as well.
Yeah.
Eagle Men.
Yes.
Beastmen with tiger heads and stuff like that.
Oh, dude, a
That
Beastman
would be-
deal, like an Eastern Beastman DLC would be so cool. Oh, could you imagine? Like, even integrated into the Beastman roster, so you have, like, Tiger Gores or whatever. Tigors.
Hell yes! We're calling them that from now on. That would be perfection. Well, it's much
Do you want
better
to
than
see Tiger
feeling.
Gores fight vampire pirates?
Yeah.
I know I do.
I want to see samurai fighting chaos demons. I want to see Tigors fighting undead pirates. I want to see some Chinese like Chukonu or Cathay Chukonu crossbowmen, like, you know, shredding some chaos dwarfs and all
Don't forget. Oh, sorry, carry on.
I was just gonna say, like, all the like contraptions too, because I don't know what the lore is, but at least when I look at like the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, like Dynasty Warriors games, like, you know, even the game Cold War Three Kingdoms, of course, as well. There's like, you know, these funny things going on there with tigers and elephants, and yeah, could you imagine order elephants for Nippon and Cathay? Be cool.
Oh,
yeah.
that could be something.
Arabic. We forgot about that. How can we leave out Arabic?
I don't know. I think the ship has sailed on Araby already. I mean, maybe. It's a big maybe. I'm not ruling it out, certainly, but I think that if there was a time for Araby, it would have been in Total War Warhammer 2, which I think...
I agree.
I don't know. They've said before, and this might have changed, but they have said before that they're not doing another faction DLC.
It's a really great way to get hashtag cancelled.
Yes. Yep, unfortunately.
Like, CA, I think they know.
Yep.
I think they know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it
But
would
as
be
for
an
the
awesome
actual
faction.
here, I think Taco's handling this well.
Yeah, his javelins are able to
For the
keep fighting
moment.
the chariot. I'm not sure about the Sora Spears pick, but I guess, I mean, maybe.
You know, actually, Sora Spears, if you're... in this matchup, I think maybe it's a risk, because Berserkers are going to be really great. But
against trolls, though.
Yeah,
trolls.
Norska has trolls for AP.
Yeah.
Right now they've got, like, ice trolls, in theory, should be the same as stone trolls. They're not.
They're the opposite, because they have, you know, 50% weakness instead of 50% resistance cumulative.
Yeah.
So.
What do ice trolls have of regular trolls? Is it just that they do frostbite?
Frostbite, and they have more damage.
Like 40 more AP damage is pretty big.
Ooh,
yeah.
That is huge. So they're glass cannon trolls, basically.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and stone trolls are really hard glass.
Yes.
I don't know.
Then you have armored chaos trolls that are somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And then you have river trolls, which are kind of undecided on what they want to do.
Yeah,
Well,
you
they're
want
just
one of them
ignored.
in every army,
So,
but
if the River Troll Hag did not have the -6 melee attack debuff aura,
yeah.
and you had to take a River Troll to get that, I think maybe River Trolls could see some use. But
And
right
you would-
now, there's no reason to take them at all.
Well, the ROR is the cheapest terror unit you have. There's that.
No, that is a fair point. Against a low leadership faction without much access to fire damage, against other greenskins, maybe against Skaven. Well, maybe not
Beastmen
Skaven.
too, actually.
but,
They're not a bad pick.
Beastmen?
Yeah.
I mean, any faction with death magic, for 4 winds of magic, the cheapest terror unit you have is whatever you cast
That's
Armor
fair.
of Dread Knight
Yeah,
on.
that's fair. But if
Yeah.
like if for whatever reason you don't want to bring a hag, you can bring them. They give you the debuff and terror all in one package for 1,200 points.
Wolfric tried to take on a dinosaur on a horse.
That's not going to end well. I mean, I had a time where... I mean, it can end well. I mean, there was one time where I threw Wolfric against a Chaos Sorcerer and a dragon and 2 manticores. He was able to kill the dragon and beat the hell out of both of the Manticore Exalted Heroes on the Manticores, but he did have everything else piling in at the same time. So there is that.
Exalted Heroes on Manticores, it's weird. I feel like they're not as good as regular Manticores. Is that just me, though?
I don't know. Some people love bringing them.
I feel like maybe
which
they have a
ones?
slightly bigger hitbox or something. I don't know. The ones with the Exalted Heroes on them.
I think they just get focused down more.
They
Yeah,
get focused down more, they cost more,
That's
but
true.
they don't rampage, and you can take the Mark of Corn on them.
that's true.
Right.
It does give them a little
so
bit more power,
they,
I guess.
they do more shock damage and power. So yeah, actually against Lizardmen I wouldn't mind bringing the Exalted Hero on Manticore. Yeah, because they
Ugh.
do a lot of poke damage that could rampage them.
I think Taco's got this in the bag, though.
Taco's got this. There's no way for Norska to kill Masamundi in this state. So
Yeah, not with Wolfric in the state he is. The trolls aren't going to get us a round off, although that's unpleasant.
Well, they don't have the
and-
leadership to hang around anyway, and I think with the solar engine still being alive, it can just blast their models away at this point.
That's exactly what it was doing on this flank that Turin's showing. Those ice trolls they've gone now, but they were just getting blown apart by the solar engine. And also one thing that I'd like to point out is, notice how Taco has only one DLC unit
Yep.
in this entire army.
I was gonna say I have a video about this recorded. It's probably gonna go up. Maybe I'll release it today. Heck. But it's literally about that topic. It's that the Lizardmen are the best non-DLC faction, like by far, I think.
Oh, here's the
Yeah.
thing. No, wait. DLC, yes. Free LC, Slan.
Oh, those are
Slan-
significant.
If you count the Slan casters for like what CA added
That's enough,
after
right?
release, I think
Yeah.
there's some significance there.
Yeah, well, basically
sure.
what I'm saying is like a faction. If you can't afford to buy DLC and you only have Warhammer 2, what faction should you play? Lizardmen.
Lizardman.
Yeah, they have, compared to the other armies, High Elves, Dark Elves, and especially Skaven, the Lizardmen really have all the tools they need to win already.
Yeah.
They don't need. I mean, you occasionally see Red Crest, Salamanders, and Razordons are helpful in some matches, but you don't. But they're not.
You
But they're not an essential.
I will say you always see the Unbreakable ROR, though. That's like auto-include.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, well, any unbreakable ROR is going to be basically an auto-include, right? But
Yeah.
it's not necessary is the main thing.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
can.
a critical part of the build, like, say, Sisters of Avalorn for some High Elf builds, or even Silver and Guard, like, just to be able to survive with the High Elves.
Well, the
Silver and Guard are
a
auto-include.
main staple these days.
Yeah.
The Silver and Guard are a main staple of High Elf build these days. I rarely see
See,
High Elf builds
Rampaging
without.
Manticore.
Yep.
Gonna get wrecked.
Uh-oh.
Right into the
It's
spears.
gonna die. It's gonna die.
Right into the spears. That's wonderful.
That is the last. This is the last place on Earth it wants to be. Oh, he's brought a Scarvet on foot.
Nice. I like that. It's like
I
a
like that too.
the foot
good animations
anti-large
for foot
lords
characters.
are good here too as well.
He does
they
a
don't
double
get
attack.
bullied by anti-large. Here comes Wolfric. That's a hell of a lot of HP you've got to cut through.
He doesn't have time.
That's one big angry dino you got there.
Oh,
Although-
look at that rear end. It's so thick. That tail.
Yeah.
I think that's
Made him worse when he
game.
basically put a wrecking ball on it.
I love it. I love the Stegodon's tails and the Bastiladons both.
Well, the Bastiladon's basically an Ankylosaurus. The Stegodon is it's every medium-sized dinosaur rolled into one. It's a Ceratopsian, it's an Ankylosaur, it's a Notosaur, it's everything.
All the dinosaurs, and that's why it's probably the best. I mean, it has the highest charge. And GG to Taco, man. Well played. Round of applause. GG.
Is he our new ever chosen? No, Eternal Challenger.
Eternal Challenger.
Huzzah! Congratulations,
Eternally
Flying Taco.
challenge.
Well, no, he'll have others eternally challenging him now. So,
Yep.
yeah.
At least until the next season's finals.
and he did it
Boy,
with
oh
my
boy.
favorite faction. Oh, sorry, carry on.
I was
carry on,
just
Dal.
gonna say that's a great win with Lizardman. Honestly, all three of those. Taco played. I don't think he lost a game today, did he? Played completely
Nope.
clean the whole time. So, what a champ! Oh,
Clean series.
Yep. That was
GG's.
did Tony
Sorry,
just
I
announce
envy-
something? Everyone's saying something in the chat.
Yeah, we didn't notice. Oh well.
What did he
Let's
say?
rewind it a little bit.
Wait, somebody quick.
There's something about a secret prize.
Huh.
Oh, is it?
What was it? What was it?
It's qualified forever chosen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
I knew
nice.
already. I was just people reacting, so yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats to Taco. I mean, yeah, Turin wanted
I'm
to
good.
have that as the surprise for the winner, so that's awesome for him. He's been in before, right? I think. Did he place in the finals before? I want to say, if not the last one, but one of the previous ones.
Maybe.
There he is. Soria Invicta, gentlemen.
Good
I'll
games.
See you guys later.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
joining,
Hadris
Hadris.
games
I'm
today.
also gonna log off the stream for now. I've got to get some other stuff done today, such as
I'll be off
coaching
too.
Ryder Rohan here. So big thanks
Sue.
to everyone that came out. Happy Puppy, of course. Zach, wait for joining, aka Red Salamander. By the way, guys, if any new players out there watching this, definitely check out the Noob Hammer Discord. Zach does some awesome practice sessions, group practice sessions there. Great way to learn. Yeah.
Thank you, Dov.